Okay, now did it work that time? My chat isn't popping up. I'm gonna have to check something real quick. Okay, it says I'm live. Don't test. Refresh chat. There we go. Now it's working. Cool. No, YouTube was being weird for a minute. It said something about me signing in to YouTube didn't work right. And then it my chat didn't pop up. Just letting some people know that I am live. Let's go over to UnDead End, and we're going to post over there. Create a post. I need to get the link to this channel, though. Let's see. I'm going to post on... Hey, Connor, what's up, dude? I learned about something interesting today, and it's called audio drugs. And I thought it would be neat to kind of learn some stuff about it. You know, just... How do you spell surveillance? Yeah, just a minute. There it is. Wait, let's see. Upload an image, I think. No. I'm going to post the link. And post. Alright, cool. Alright, so yeah, Connor, have you ever heard of audio drugs? You have? Okay, cool. Yeah, I just learned about them today. Well, I'd heard Marilyn Manson mention them a while back, and it just kind of slipped my mind and stuff. And I was over at Angel's house tonight. We were, you know, just talking and shit. And it was about, we were talking about Taylor Swift and how at one of her concerts, a bunch of people ended up getting amnesia from going to her concert. And I was explaining to the girlfriend that, yeah, there's like these frequencies that can alter your brain chemistry and shit. And that's what got me to thinking about audio, like the Marilyn Manson thing where he was talking about audio drugs. And I thought it'd be something interesting for us to watch tonight. I'm going to pull up the page here. Check it out. If you type in audio drugs, I'm on there. That's cool. That must mean no one else in the world is live streaming audio drugs. And I am. I feel special. I don't like my camera right here. I'm going to move it back over here. I just got used to it being down here. My little tripod thing for it broke. I'm gonna wait a couple minutes, see if anybody shows up. But no, my little my tripod thing broke for my webcam, and so it's just having to sit there without a stand or anything. God, my hair is fucked. Oh, so yesterday I had mentioned something about going and getting a loan. You remember? Did I bring that up yesterday? I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did. Anyway, I went to the bank today. I actually rode my bike to the bank. We talked about it last. Okay, yeah, okay, cool. Actually rode to the bank today, which was fun. Not gonna lie, that was really super fun riding to the bank. Anyway, I'm on disability, and I'm also on SSI, which is Social Security income. The reason why I'm on disability requires me to have a payee, which is someone who is supposed to be in control of all of my money. I'm not supposed to be able to handle a dollar of my check each month. It's supposed to go to the payee. Needless to say, it does not. But because of that, because of me having to have a payee, I am not qualified for a loan. Awesome, right? I figured it wouldn't work out. I figured something would happen. But even if I had a cosigner, I'm still not eligible for it. I cannot take out a loan. That is total bullshit. I need to get over to social services or social security and somehow get it to where I don't need a payee anymore. Because my dad was my payee, and now my aunt is my payee. And it just sucks, man. Like, I can't take a loan out. And, like, I think it wouldn't have been a problem. And there's always something that stops me from reaching my goals. You know what I'm saying? When I was trying to get the tags on my car, a stop had been put on the tags. I had to go to the electric bill company where you pay taxes. I was behind on taxes, so I had to pay that plus an additional fee to get the stop taken off to where I could get my tags. It's always something that gets in my way and fucks everything up. And that scares me about getting my bike legal, is I'm scared there's going to be something that's going to fuck it all up. And that's why I needed that loan, was, to be able to cover these unexpected expenses. But, I don't know what to do. I told Angel, I said, if it's pretty tomorrow and I feel up to it, I'm going to ride around on my bike. I feel like I have wasted the money I spent on buying the bike. All I've done is rode around the trailer park and to the store and to the bank. And I've had the bike for going on 3 or 4 months now. I just don't have the extra money each month to get it legal, I did get a raise on my SSI, a whole $6. And on my disability, I got about a $15 raise. Keep in mind, I'm poverty level. I'm poverty level. And here's an extra $15. That'll help you out. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Well, Connor, it looks like you're going to be the only one here, so let's get started.
Referred to by some as digital drugs, a survey finds that people are using audio clips to get high. Okay, let's see what these shenanigans are all about. That in a report on Study Finds. Be sure to like and subscribe below. Might be less expensive. Researchers from RMIT University in Australia say their study looked at the phenomenon of binaural beats, which are sounds that can allegedly trigger a psychoactive effect in the brain. More specifically, binaural beats are illusionary tones created by the brain when someone hears two different sound frequencies in each ear. Data from the Global Drug Survey 2021 shows 72% of respondents use binaural beats to help them relax or fall asleep. Another 35% are trying to change their mood. I use my
Yeah, I fall into that percentile.
headphones to avoid conversations on a plane, but more often than not, there's nothing playing. However, 12% say they're using binaural beats to create the same high they get from taking a psychedelic drug.
Now, see, I don't know about all that. I don't know if you can listen to something and it's going to make you feel like you're tripping on shrooms. Connor says, I got into this back in 290s. A company called Holosync did way back when. The audio drug binaural beats.
Study author Dr. Monica Barrett says that many people use this phenomenon as a source for help for sleep therapy or pain relief. That's interesting. She notes that most of the people trying to get high had experience using other psychedelics. The survey.
Okay, what if, all right, from what they just said, listen to that again.
That most of the people trying to get high had experience using other psychedelics.
Most of the people trying to get high had experience using other psychedelics. What if it only works, like the audio drugs, what if it only works if you've done like hallucinogens before? Like, all right, say you've never done it and your mind, that part of your mind that expands when you do hallucinogens, it's closed off if you've never done hallucinogens. So hearing the binaural beats or whatever it's called, your brain doesn't know what to do with it because those doors haven't been opened yet. You see what I'm saying?
The survey included more than 30,000 people in 22 countries, including the United States. Researchers say
Hey, Zombie Bone opens up his notebook. Okay, this will be awesome. Yeah. Hey, man, how you doing?
these audio tracks often have titles which spell out their intended purpose, focusing on everything from mindfulness and meditation to tracks named after drugs like MDMA and cannabis. Overall, binaural beat users were younger and were more likely to be using other drugs than those not listening to
Zombie Bone says, raise his hand. Thank you for raising your hand, sir, but you don't have to. Can you send you what bids you have on this? Can I send you what videos I have on this? I typed in audio drugs on YouTube. I just learned about this today. So I'm new to this. Yeah, just type in audio drugs on YouTube.
these clips. Users also admitted that they were trying to connect with themselves or something bigger than themselves through this experience.
See, that's the whole point of it. What he just said.
Not listening to these clips. Users also admitted that they were trying to connect with themselves or something bigger than themselves through this experience.
And is that a bad thing? Is that such a bad thing? Trying to find personal freedom to learn who you are, to not even take anything, to listen to something, to try and reach that next level. How is that a bad thing?
1 in 20 wanted to reach an altered state through listening to binaural beats. Well, There's a good way to spend your time. 16%
I think it's a great way to spend your time, sir, and I take that as an insult.
of respondents from the U.S. say they've tried it, which is more than double the average in other nations. I literally never heard of this until today. Barrett said that most people who listen were already using ingestible substances. She also said that more research is needed to make sure there aren't any negative impacts. Okay, I get that, but the more time a person spends trying to escape the reality in a drug-induced stupor, I presume the issues may already be a little more deeper than the crazy sound experience that comes.
Excuse me, sir, just because I like sitting around in a stupor does not... Okay, I do have mental health issues. You're right on that. But, sir, I take your tone was very insulting, and I do not appreciate that judgment. Sir.
Issues may already be a little more deeper than the crazy sound experience that comes along. That being said, researchers say the phenomenon may be very beneficial to the medical world. So the jury
Look,
is allowed.
we know so little about the power of the brain. We know so little about it, and actually, we used to use more of our brain than we do now. Is it so wrong to want to expand your knowledge and let's use 12 or 13% of our brain?
May be very beneficial to the medical world. So the jury is still out, and more
And they even said earlier in the video that people were listening to it and it was helping with insomnia and pain. So that's good.
research is needed.
Way better than a
The
pill.
question is, does it really work, or is this the emperor's new clothes for your ears? Yeah. Do you feel it? Oh, I feel it, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's awesome. We have time.
What a nerd. Let's see. All right, what else? What else we got here? We can listen to stuff that'll make us think we're on cocaine. You'd be amazed by how much your brain just guesses on things. Yeah. This is what I saw that made me think about this.
It will affect your brain chemistry. There's actually a bunch of people in America that process this new. There's some different websites where you can download audio that creates the same chemical reaction in your brain as drugs. And the word that kids are going to get addicted to audio drugs.
I need to go to rehab. I've been using audio drugs, and I have to hear it. I need to go to rehab. I'm hooked on hearing it.
There's some different websites where you can download.
There's opium. The war on drugs. All right, let's see. What are audio drugs? Oh, did you see the White House? I did. What kind of abomination was that? I mean, that was just stupid. Okay, let's listen to her. She's a neurologist. Yeah, Zombie Bone. That was just the dumbest shit. Made no sense at all. And I heard that it was
When I first heard about binaural
created by some anti-white people.
The scene from Back to the Future Part 2, in which Doc uses a machine called the sleep-inducing alpha rhythm generator on Marty's girlfriend to put her to sleep instantaneously when she starts asking too many questions about the future. While binaural beats are not an actual machine that induces sleep, the theory behind them is similar. Binaural beats takes advantage of our brain's incredible ability to respond to sounds. They reflect a sort of sound therapy purported to please someone in different mental states. So what exactly are binaural?
Anti-white pro, anti-cop, anti-prison, and love Marxist. Well, that's just who you want doing your Christmas celebration in the White House. That's, that's just who you want. But better than them damn Trump supporting, flag waving Trumpers. Them right-wing terrorists.
Beats. Although the term sounds like a new age music genre, binaural beats actually reflect a technique that involves combining two different sound frequencies to create the perception of a new sound frequency.
So if you have one frequency in one ear and one in the other, you create a third frequency by hearing the two in different ears. I mean, Iowa had satanic altar. Nice.
When a tone of 320 hertz is presented to the left ear and 360 hertz is presented to the right ear, the person listening experiences hearing a tone that is 40 hertz frequency. By perceiving this new sound frequency, your brain tunes to the frequency, thus inducing...
That's neat as shit. So you hear two different frequencies and your brain creates the third one out of what it's hearing. It just...
a specific mental state. Many people listen to binaural beats to help them alleviate anxiety, induce deep relaxation or sleep, improve concentration or memory, or enhance creativity. In order to understand how binaural beats can...
What is it, sweetie?
States,
come here, baby.
To understand how our brains work. Neurons, the cells that make up the brain, communicate with each other by sending brain waves. In other words, pulses of electricity.
Come here, sweet girl. Hey, baby.
These pulses of electricity transmitted
your
across
butt.
the brain result in different mental states, emotions, and actions.
Standing there meowing and staring at me.
Are highly correlated
Now I try to pick her up and she won't let me pick her up.
at any given moment. Although the brain is exponentially more complicated than what I'm about to discuss in this video, there are essentially four main ways that reflect a person's different cognitive states. Beta frequency brainwaves are associated with the highest level of arousal and alertness. When you're focusing, concentrating, or involved in analytical thinking or decision-making, your brainwaves are in a beta-dominant state. Beta waves are fast frequency waves, occurring at 13 to 40 hertz. Faster frequency beta waves also predominate in states of anxiety. So, when you find yourself awake at 2 in the morning, ruminating in circles over some issue that you won't be able to fix at 2 a.m., you are...
That's not a good cough. No, that was a plant induced cough. That happens to have some ingredients in it that when you light it on fire and inhale the smoke, it alters your brain chemistry a little bit. No, that's all that was. Don't worry. That was just the plant. Yeah, I got you. Just let everybody see you. You've gotten such a big girl, ain't you? You become such a big girl. I'm gonna put the play button.
a beta-dominant state.
Hey, baby.
The second type of brainwave is the alpha brainwave. Alpha brainwaves are associated with relaxed alertness. Alpha waves are slower in frequency, and they dominate when we are alert and relaxed. Alpha waves also predominate when one is meditating or in yoga class. Theta brainwaves are the third
Let me
type.
get under that chin.
These
Let me
are
get
slower
under
than
that
beta
chin.
and alpha frequency. Deep meditation can produce theta waves, as can the drowsy state.
Do you want that?
The
Okay.
final and slowest type of brainwave is called the delta wave. Delta are associated with deep restorative sleep. Now that you understand the four major types of brainwave patterns, you can see that the faster the brainwave frequency, the higher the level of alertness. The slower the brainwave frequency, the less alert the person is. So how does this all apply to binaural beats? Research has shown that exposing people to specific frequencies of sound or light can result in a process called brainwave entrainment, in which people's brainwaves tune to the same frequency of the external stimuli. A great example of the brain's response to rhythmic external stimulation is highlighted in a neurological condition called epilepsy, in which a person is prone to develop seizures. A seizure is caused by abnormal electrical firing of neural networks in the brain. When people with certain types of seizures are exposed to rhythmic flashing lights, say the kind that one would find in a 1990s rave scene, the flashing lights can trigger certain neurons to begin firing rapidly and abnormally, thus causing a seizure.
Strobe lights kind of fuck with me. I don't like strobe lights.
When a person listens to rhythmic auditory beats. For instance, I've had a patient in the past whose seizures were triggered by listening to certain types of musical rhythms. Brain entrainment occurs in healthy people as well. Studies measuring people's brain activity while listening to rhythmic beats have found this to be true. These studies show that neurons in the brain's auditory cortex fire at the same frequency of the beats listened to. Brainwave entrainment refers to the brain's capacity to naturally synchronize its own brainwave frequencies with the rhythm of external stimuli. In the case of binaural beats, the stimulus is auditory. Patterns of neural firing, measured in hertz, correspond to different states.
So the faster the hertz,
sleep, awake relaxation,
the more awareness?
of specific frequencies, one can theoretically induce a desired state of consciousness. Studies have been performed to identify the potential impact of binaural beats on focus, mood, memory, and creativity.
Neat. I'm going to start doing this.
The strongest evidence for binaural beats' effects on the brain.
You can open up a new neural pathways by thought, and every time that you follow through with it, with that thought, it opens up more neural pathways and more and more. So it's like an endless. Every time you, every time you open a door, like 2 more doors open. I'm gonna like try this. I'm gonna sit around. I'm gonna listen to some of this, and I'm gonna close my eyes, and I'm gonna just, it's continually adapting. That's true.
Involves their ability to alleviate anxiety and induce deep relaxation.
I need headphones. I think I got some.
State anxiety and trait anxiety. State anxiety involves psychological stress induced by a specific event or situation.
What are you doing, my sweet girl?
Involves a persistently heightened level of anxiety related to a personality characteristic. Several studies measuring the effects of binaural beats on anxiety found that listening to them, specifically in the delta, theta, or alpha range frequencies, significantly reduced both state and trait anxiety.
Yeah, probably the better the headphones, the better it'll work.
Studies have sought to capture the effects of binaural beats on mood. Binaural beats appear to decrease total mood disturbance, decrease fatigue, anxiety, and confusion.
so sweet.
However, certain studies show that listening to binaural beats could actually increase depression. When further investigated, it seems that only the lower frequency binaural beats, such as those in the theta or delta range, were actually related to increased depression. Binaural beats stimulation in the beta range, so the fast frequency binaural beats, resulted in decreased reports of depression.
Huh. So faster.
The studies measuring binaural beats on memory, focus, and creativity reveal mixed results. Some studies show improvement in these mental states.
They charged you $100.97 for the binaural Beats 5 CD pack. Oh, wow. And you never would have thought back then that it would be free years and years later. There's also on YouTube for free. Nice.
States after binaural beat stimulation.
Well, look at you just being
while
so
others
sweet.
show a decrease or no effect at all. The mixed results might be related to different frequencies used in the various studies. For example, some studies show that binaural beats can positively or negatively impact memory depending on the frequency generated. One study found that the fast theta frequencies improved memory, while theta frequency binaural beats interfered with memory. So what do we learn from this? That using different frequency sounds could result in vastly different effects on the brain, since different networks involved in different functions oscillate at different frequencies. Keep in mind that this technique of binaural beats may not work for everybody. Much like individuals may respond differently to diets, supplements, medications, the same applies to binaural beats. Humans are vastly diverse, and what works for one person may not work for another.
Cool. They called it the industrial strength stuff. I was sold immediately as a teen. Let's just see what mushrooms sound like. Or what if I downloaded it and had the audio going in the background just kind of quietly to where it's subliminally being put in? I know the cat just stood up and walked off. Oh, she don't like the sound of that. What is it, Kit Kat? What is it? What is it, baby? I don't know. Lady's little bitch says, I am shocked at how well this works. I have taken shrooms before but forgot some of the symptoms. I was only reminded of them because I felt them and thought, oh yeah, that's right. This is exactly how I would feel / behave when I was on shrooms. If someone had given me regular mushrooms and told me they were magic and then played this for me, I would have never suspected the shrooms were not psilocybin. For the record, I smoked marijuana just before listening to this. However, the way I felt and acted was as I did when taking the actual mushrooms. I am still hallucinating mildly. I have a painting on my wall and see an owl that is not there, and I never saw it before, but now it won't go away. This is incredible. I'm also surprised at the duration. I thought the effects would only last while listening. However, it's 1 hour later and I'm still tripping. I don't know if I believe that or not. My heart is beating super fast and it feels weird to breathe. Alright, how to use any digital drug. Make sure your surroundings are quiet. Everyone around you should be dead silent or very quiet. Lie down in a comfortable position, preferably on the ground or in a good chair or bed will work fine. Place a towel, shirt, sweater, or any clothes that you have on your face, but leave holes for breathing. Use headphones, preferably over-ear ones, but any type of headphones will work fine. Concentrate on the sound and nothing else. Wait. It is very likely you'll start feeling high as you listen, but try to keep on listening for at least 10 minutes and then take off your headphones. Getting high will work better if you've ever experienced a real high. So that goes back to what I was saying earlier, that like if you have tripped, you've already opened up that gateway for something like this to work, I think. Possibly. I mean, I don't know. I'm open to the idea of it working. I think it'd be cool as hell if it did work. But I'm not going to sit here and believe these comments at all. Because that one lady, that comment I just read, she's still apparently hallucinating a little bit, but not a single misspelled word. So, you can't believe any of the comments. Let's see, just finished. Basically, I didn't really feel high, but I hallucinated with sounds of the video, I think. Basically, there were sounds I heard which sounded like they should be in the video, which wind kind of rhythm, like it would be a high, then low, then high. Then I realized I could manage the speed. I changed the sound with my brain and eventually changed as I breathed in and out. After I took it off, I had a weird sound for about 2 minutes. Okay. Didn't know bots could trip. Oh, I know. They are learning. They are evolving. That's cool, man. That's cool. Let's do cocaine. Uh-huh. I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling alright, man. I don't think it's working for me. I really don't think it's working for me, man. Oh, look at this lighter. Any idea how long you're going to be live for, Jay? I was going to tap into some brandy. As long as people are here, I'm going to be live. I'll be live for at least another hour or two. We got 3 people here, man. Hello, whoever the third person is. Join the conversation. Come chat with us. Yeah, I'll be here for a little while longer. For a bit longer. I ain't going nowhere. I just packed a bowl, and I got my drink, and I got cigarettes. And yeah, we're good. Now, I watched this earlier. This is the only thing I watched about it. Do you actually get high? And these, I don't know, they said they didn't feel anything off of it. I think that's kind of a buzzkill, so I don't really want to watch that. Hang on a minute, I got a message. You know, that's funny, though. If you type in audio drugs on YouTube, there I am. That's funny. Enjoy that brandy, though, dude. Do digital drugs put your kids at risk?
We tell you all the time about designer drugs hitting the streets or getting into our schools.
But what about them coming through your headphones?
Investigator Heather Catalo is here to show you how companies are trying to make a buck off of beats that supposedly make you high.
Are headphones replacing the drug dealer with these so-called digital drugs? There's some clever marketing going on here, but is it all money for nothing? And does this put your kids at risk?
I am frightened of what's out there.
Now, see, if I was the parent and they came up to me and wanted to interview me, Sir, what do you think about this new craze that kids are getting into called digital drugs? Wow, what is it? Well, they listen to noises in headphones and it makes them high. That's pretty cool, man. How do you do it? I would be the worst parent to interview. I wouldn't be like, I am so shocked and scared. I'd be like, that is awesome. How do you do it?
I am frightened of what's out there.
Pussy.
We want to try to protect your kids.
Samir Farsain has a 12-year-old daughter.
When you let them, they're always on their tablet, they always have their earphones.
He's worried about...
Okay, well, wouldn't you rather them think that they are actually getting high from listening to a noise instead of actually going out and buying marijuana or pills or coke or some shit to get high? Like, if they're tricking themselves into thinking that they're catching a buzz by listening to some noise, wouldn't you rather them do that than go out on the streets and meet up with drug dealers? In the UK, I think they are banning under 16s from posting on social media. Oh, fuck.
something called digital drugs or binaural beats. They are special frequencies that supposedly get you high like traditional street drugs. In the U.S., the Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics has issued warnings about digital drugs.
I was really shocked to see that this is not a joke, this is serious.
They're not drugs at all, first of all.
Dr. Kathleen Riley isn't buying it. She's been studying the effects of music on the body for years, and she says with binaural beats,
each ear is getting a different sound frequency in it. The brain stem on both sides of the brain actually activates what is a third frequency.
the brain then creates neurochemicals. A quick search on YouTube reveals beats that claim to get you high like acid or LSD, cocaine, ecstasy. People post videos.
Of course, ecstasy has to have a.
Ecstasy. People post videos claiming these are real reactions. Why are people convinced they're high from digital drugs?
The more power of suggestion is out there, the more people just take something and might put a false belief behind it.
Exactly what I was talking about. Let your kids pretend to get high off of noises instead of them going out to the streets and buying shit. You know, that's what I would think as a parent. But you know what? I'm a cool parent. If I ever was a parent, I'd be an awesome parent.
Notice who puts this one out. A company called iDoser, one of, if not the biggest distributor of binaural doses on the internet. For
What was that?
99
iDoser?
cents, you can get a dose of LSD. For $6.50, a sex pack. And for $8.25, you can buy the wasted pack, where you get opium, cocaine, and marijuana, all the effects. Then there are the so-called reviews on iDoser claiming the digital drugs were spot on. Quote, I saw colors and patterns. It was the best trip of my life.
I think that's a real overstatement.
Dr. Riley's experience with biofeedback and research into frequency effects on the body led her to this conclusion about people using digital drugs.
If we really hooked people up physiologically and did all kinds of measurements on them, you're not going to have the same thing going on with a drug.
For Samir, this is a big concern for many reasons.
Now, because the idea is in his head, that child is going to wonder what it's like to do real drugs.
Real or not, you can use this as an opportunity to jumpstart a conversation with your kids about these issues.
Here's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do exactly how my dad done me. Little Jay, come here, buddy. Look, if you're ever going to do drugs or anything, don't do nothing stupid. If you're going to smoke weed, do it here at the house. If you want to drink, once you get about 16 or 17, all right, cool, just let me know. Like, just be responsible, dude. Don't be a dumbass. And you're going to stay in school. Deal? And then you got a son who respects you. It's like, wow, man, dad understands, dude. Dad's cool. And like, yeah, that's how you do it. You tell a kid not to do something, you might as well be putting the drugs in their, in their veins yourself. If you give a kid a little bit of responsibility, as long as they're a halfway decent-minded person, they'll fucking do the right thing. Unfortunately, though, there are a lot of people who are just fucking stupid. The majority of people, in all honesty, is fucking stupid. Sound frequency to activate your true power. I better turn Super Saiyan after this. Yep, it's not working. I was looking up stuff about Taylor Swift earlier. I think she could be one of the Antichrists. I mean, this bitch, alright, Taylor Swift, right? One of her last shows, I think it was in Vegas or some shit. People that live close to the to the Coliseum were calling the police because it was so much noise from the Taylor Swift concert that they couldn't sleep, because her concerts last 3 hours, from what they were saying. And that it was so much noise that they couldn't sleep. Apparently, they caused a mini earthquake at one of her concerts. People were walking out with Amnesia. What? I don't. She's not hot. What is it? Style Theory: The Cult of Taylor Swift. Okay, let's check this out. I want to learn. I want to know what makes her so great, because I don't understand it, man. I don't understand the Taylor Swift thing, and I can't just shake it off.
It's me. Hi, I'm the theorist. It's me. At theory time, everybody agrees.
And we're skipping that.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Style Theory, the channel that's gonna find out where the scarf is once and for all. I've got my eyes on you, Jake. If you've been on the internet at all over the past couple months, you've probably heard about Taylor Swift's Eras Tour. From the TikTok outfit reveals to the Ticketmaster presale controversy, this thing has been impossible to avoid. Now, gotta be honest with you, as much of a pop culture fanatic as I am, never really considered myself a hardcore Swiftie. If you see me in headphones, I'm usually bopping around to some Broadway cast recording. Raul Esparza, you are a legend. But it's hard to deny the mega platform multi-generational success of Tay-Tay. And I do mean multi-generational. Taylor has gotten herself a lock on millennials, zoomers, heck, even Gen Alpha. And I know that one personally since my son Ali is a die-hard Taylor stan at the age of 4.
Talk to my friends, talk to me.
Meanwhile, the rest of Team Theorist over here are literally flying across the country to see Taylor's latest concert. Honestly, I don't know what's more surprising about that fact. The extreme level of commitment they have to see a concert, or the fact that they have lives outside of their jobs. Note to self, deal with that one later. The rabid fandom that's happening here, and that's frankly been happening for about a decade, is so strong that it almost feels like a conspiracy. And you all know how I love me a conspiracy. So in my efforts to connect with my son and simultaneously get an invite to
What about Streamlabs?
the next cross-country office concert trip, not that I was feeling left out or anything, I've been doing a fair bit of Taylor Swift research over the last few months, and it's starting to come to my attention that music isn't the only thing that surrounds her. No, her history also has itself a heaping helping of my favorite thing, lore. And where there's lore, I'm ready to spring into action swiftly. So why am I talking about this on a style channel? Well, much to my surprise, her lore isn't so much told through her songs and music, but rather through what she's wearing and how she looks. Today we're cracking open the vault of secrets to what built the cult of Taylor Swift, and how it all comes down to one thing, fashion. And I'll take...
Okay. I donated 5 through. I thought it would have came through, but I heard my phone go off. Okay, I got it. Thank you so much, man. I don't have to update anything because you're still my last donator. But hey, thank you so much, man. I don't know why it didn't come through the alert box. The window capture was my bad. I didn't have it up top, so I'm gonna get you. Well, that's not what I wanted. I'm sorry. There you go. I'll give you a merch too. Your name is John. Here's a membership. There you go. You want to be a subscriber? Booyah! And here's a super chat for you. Alright. Cool deal. I'm sorry, man. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you. Greatly appreciated. Seriously, let me make sure my card is locked so that they don't go taking my fucking money. Give me just 1 second. There it is. Hell yeah. Alright, let's see. Give him a card. I got to keep my shit locked because damn, they like apps and shit will try to take your money. How the fuck do I lock it? I know how to do this. Just give me a second. The marijuana is kind of affecting my brain a little bit. Activity. No. It should be here. And then it's crazy how much PayPal takes. Because I only got like 431 out of that. Oh, it's already locked. Sweet. Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's learn. Thank you so much, Connor. Appreciate it, brother. Really do appreciate it. Because I don't have $1 to my name, so now I have that. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I need to... How come my header isn't showing up? There we go. I need that so that people can see how to donate if they would like to. This is like the second show I've done where I've not mentioned money at all. But hey, thank you so much, man. Now let's learn about the Antichrist.
Taylor is just the latest in a long line of celebrities from Madonna to Markiplier who figured out that you either have to change or you die. For those of you who need a little backstory here, Taylor Swift started off in her early days as a country singer turned pop star. It's actually an incredibly common pathway to break into the extremely competitive world of pop stardom through another musical genre. Since then, she's released 10 unique studio albums and 2 re-recordings over the past 16 years, all culminating in this latest big event, the Eras Tour. A 3+ hour record-smashing Swift spectacle where Taylor literally dives into the stage, swims under it, creates a tidal wave, and then emerges on the other side in a brand new costume. It is extra in all the best ways possible. In the immortal words of Hope Scope,
I went to the Taylor Swift Eras concert, and I'm unwell.
But speaking of those costumes, Taylor wears a new one every time she transitions through the 10 major albums of her music, her eras. Get it? And these aren't just outfits with some shiny sequins and fringe to highlight a few punchy dance moves. Oh no. These costumes are stories. They're statements. And they are secret signals to the audience. This has been the key to Taylor's...
I don't get it, man. I don't get it. But okay, I'm going to keep watching.
Success. And it's been telegraphed through her songs the entire time. Let's start at the beginning. When she was first getting her start as a 16-year-old back in 2000...
Ew. 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 Look at Taylor Swift in 2006. Ew, man. I would turn her down. I mean, I'd turn her down now, but like... Ew. Not attractive. Now she's a quadrillionaire.
2006, she was an all-American country girl, complete with cowboy boots, curls, and let's call it questionable southern twang.
You're in the room with him and you can feel it. There's a power there. And you just find it. So I don't think I'll ever get to a point where I won't see him and be like, oh my god.
But it wasn't enough just to be wearing the look, she also had to sing about it. Her first album's lead single, Tim McGraw, for instance, immediately associates Taylor with specific articles of clothing. When you think happiness, I hope you think that little black dress. Think of my head on your chest and my old faded blue jeans. Man, reading lyrics just kills them, doesn't it? Outfits are memories. They're moments in time. By her second album, Fearless, her style had matured slightly. The cowboy boots stayed, but gone were the jeans and in were the sundresses. This worked perfectly when she was trying to break into the early 2000s country scene against a lineup of Faith Hills and Leanne Rimeses and Carrie Underwoods, who all had themselves a signature pattern of boho chic, mix of bohemian, hippie, and vintage elements that was all the rage at the time. Except Taylor...
I have something I need to admit. Hippie chicks were kind of hot. Like, the girls in the 60s, man, they were pretty hot. They were very shagadelic. Fun fact, her dad is amazingly rich and powerful. Why does that not surprise me? Why does that not surprise me?
Approached this popular trend with her own twist, keeping it inexpensive. The type that you could find sold at your local Walmart. quote from her. I always thought if I were to ever do a fashion line, I wouldn't want to do clothes.
Zombie Bone says she in no way was the girl next door at any point. Her entire setup was for her to succeed. So her destiny was planned out. I would feel bad for her, but fuck her.
That girls like me and girls my age couldn't afford. In short, Taylor was tapping into words that were about to become the buzzwords for the next decade. Relatable and authentic. If you've been trolling around the internet for a long time like I have, you know that from 2005 to 2015, the only word on anyone's mind was authentic. Authenticity is king, they all said. Brands wanted authentic.
I wasn't on the internet during that period of time, sorry. She seems like an industry plant. Oh, God, yes. Yes, she is. And her beliefs and her lyrics and her opinions are being adopted by generations of people who love her music. Because, I mean, you listen to any artist, any musician, or if you have any idol or anything, you begin to adopt their traits, their characteristics, their opinion on stuff. She has millions of people who know every single word to every single song, and they're going to start thinking the way that those albums are telling them to think. Just like your people who listen to rap music and then go out and shoot people and deal drugs and all this shit and get street cred because they went to prison, and that's awesome because there was a rap album about it. You know, who knows what she could be saying in those lyrics. Perfect song on that. You should blame the rappers. You should blame the rappers.
Authentic influencers. This stuff was everywhere. And over there in music land, you had Taylor, who understood the assignment to a capital T. In appearances, her wardrobe looked like clothes any high schooler would be wearing because that was her target audience. She was big enough to be your aspirational friend, the one you were proud to be seen with, but also normal enough that you could see yourself geeking out with her in biology class talking about the cute boy in the corner. Her brand was built on clothes just as much as it was on the music. If you listen to her best-known songs from this era, a lot of them just reinforce the relatability angle, literally talking about the clothes that she's wearing. In You Belong With Me, the lyrics literally create an us versus them dynamic. She wears short skirts, I wear t-shirts. And then again later, she wears high heels, I wear sneakers. Taylor is not the cool kid. She's not the fashionista one. She's not the popular girl. She's here for you. She is one of you. People are going to buy a lot of tickets to a concert that's for them and by them. Enough tickets that it would push her to become the youngest ever winner of the Grammy Awards.
But that's all a lie because she's not those people. She is currently in this still frame, probably wearing high heels, not sneakers. It's a lie. Connor says, I got a blank space, baby, and I'll write your name. Zombie Bone says, having listened to country all my life, I hate what she did to country. Did she fuck up country? They bastardized it? Oh, man.
Unfortunately, or fortunately for Taylor, you can't just be the relatable underdog forever, especially when you're selling millions of copies and filling up stadiums. Distinctly #unrelatable there, Tay-Tay. With Speak Now, out in 2010, Taylor tried on a few other styles, the spiteful X in black and the fairy tale princess waiting for her prince, but in the end, she still came back to the tried and true, iconic early Taylor Swift style. But each time she came back to it, it started to work less and less well. Eventually, by 2011, Taylor Swift and her cutesy country girl shtick was old news, and it became the butt of every joke from tabloids to SNL.
Now Taylor Swift is here.
And Taylor herself could sense that she needed to change or die.
At 22, I was already watching newer, cooler artists come out every week. It was an interesting sort of wrestling match with my own fears of remaining stagnant that made Red the kind of joyride that it ended up being.
Enter the Red era. In 2012, the 22-year-old Taylor underwent her first major transformation. Gone were her iconic curls, replaced with straight hair and bangs. Gone were the cowboy boots, and in were kitten heels and lace-up Oxfords. Her style was now retro, vintage, classic, a vibe that perfectly matched the aesthetics of another rising star in this period. Not a pop star, a platform. Instant.
Okay, I don't really care about clothes. I'm trying to get how she's the Antichrist. Taylor Swift is a ticking time bomb. Hello, you have caught my attention. Red as in the color of initiation to the club. That's
I have
right.
to get to this, and there's so
Oh,
much
it's
I
her.
want to say about this. There's no way that I'm going to have enough
She
time.
could get it.
This is, I would
She could get
probably
it.
say, the number one prediction that I have been making that divides my fans, because I have a legion of Swifties that also listen to my podcast. I love you all, and I do not fault you for being Taylor Swift fans. I have her music on my iPhone. Let me actually slow this down. I'm going to make myself at first say 3 really nice things about Taylor Swift, okay? Number 1,
You're
she
literally
is
watching a
really
style video, bro. I know, but like, I'm a little stoned, and I kind of skipped over that, and I just saw the cult part. And, let's not tell nobody I was watching the style video.
catchy music. I like her old stuff better than her new stuff, but there is no doubt that Taylor Swift is definitely musically talented. Number 2, nobody rocks a bang better than Taylor Swift. Like, I mean, that girl actually looks better with bangs. Every time I see the way she wears it, whether it's shaggy, whether it's straight, I think she looks phenomenal. Number 3, she is an incredibly hard worker, so I deeply respect how hard she works. Her current Eras tour,
Zombie Bun says, outside of a few examples in country, as long as you can twang it, you can make it. So a bunch of failed pop stars just rush to it. Yeah, you're right.
I think each of her stops is 3 hours on stage. If you guys knew how much energy that takes to commit, Taylor Swift had us off to your...
But she's not singing, she's lip singing. All she's doing is walking around mouthing the words to her songs. She's not actually singing.
incredibly hard worker. And now that I've gotten that out of the way, so that the people that are Swifties that also love me don't get too enraged at me, I'm going to tell you my very long-standing prediction about her. Taylor Swift is a ticking time bomb in conservative world. I have been saying this for a very long time. She has amassed a legion of fans. You've seen her kind of dabble her toe and say a thing here or there about politics. And Taylor Swift is the same age as me. We're both born in '89, so that means that Taylor Swift is just...
Holy shit, I'm only like 3 years older than Taylor Swift. I thought she was younger than that. I have no idea she was... Wow, shit. She's old.
About to turn 34 years old, and we've not yet seen Taylor Swift go fully crazy because she's had boys to keep her busy. Now, aside from the fact that
She didn't have no Britney Spears and Paris Hilton moments. Where is Taylor Swift's going to the club and getting all fucked up and then getting in the car and then like showing her crotch and shit? How come Taylor Swift didn't go out and party and make tabloids and stuff like that? That must have just been a 90s thing. Her character is still a teenager. You're right. You're exactly right. You're exactly right, Connor. Yep. Zombie Buns is an addition. She's just going through the same process that all female artists go through. Go next door, all grown up tomboy to a woman. Yep.
switches relationships way too fast, which I think is problematic. And
It's that Britney Spears, man. She hit me, baby, one more time when that shit came out. I fell in love.
it is a bad example to the young women that follow her. And aside from the fact that she, pretty much collects friends like their Beanie Babies, these are all things that I fault her for. The bigger issue when it comes to Taylor Swift is that she is an actual fraud. I mean, I cannot make this clear enough. And like I said, you might disagree with me now, but I'm telling you that I'm going to give it about 5 years for everything that I say to be proven right. Her entire shtick, and you know that one of the things that pains me the most, are women that infantilize themselves, right? So I just told you that Taylor Swift is 34 years old. When you hear Taylor Swift talk to her audiences, she sounds like she's a little scared girl. That's her act. I'm a little scared girl, and I need my legion of 12 and 11-year-old fans to all attack the person or the thing that I'm no longer happy with.
Look at the big brains on Connor. Good call, man.
I mean, essentially, she is a bit of a glorified bully. She's routinely makes music about individuals.
Connor said, I never saw Spears as a natural Viagra. Everyone I grew up with. All right, it was Britney Spears. And then Jessica Simpson was banging. I I never cared for Christina Aguilera. Her face was kind of bleh. Mandy Moore. You guys remember Mandy Moore? I'm trying to think of all the pop girls that was on TRL. But no, Britney Spears. That was it for me. Megan Fox, overrated as hell. Megan Fox was hot in the Transformers movies. I mean, and she was really hot in the 2.5 Men episode. Did you ever see the episode of 2.5 Men that she's in? She's pretty banging in that. I mean, Madonna now looks like a Madonna looks like someone. Looks like a plastic surgeon really didn't like Madonna and was like, I'm gonna fuck her face up, and that's what happened. That's what it looks like. It looks like that plastic surgeon had a vendetta against Madonna.
That she feels she's been burned by, and the way that she gets even with them, she's basically got the Mean Girl burn book, is she creates a catchy pop tune, and then she has a legion of people singing tunes that is actually about a real person, but nobody thinks about it this way because you say it's art. And maybe I should learn from that. Maybe what I should start doing on the show is creating catchy songs about everybody that annoys me and I don't like. Maybe I should make a catchy pop song about transgenderism and Dylan Mulvaney. I'll try that next year, but that's not going to be my shtick today. I want to point you to just an example of what I'm talking about in terms of her pretending to be a little girl when in fact she is a woman that is 34 years old. This is a clip from her Netflix special, which was called, a documentary that was called Miss Americana. And
I seriously had no idea she was 34. That's kind of blowing my mind a little bit.
She's going to sell to audiences that she's just a scary little girl that wants to find her voice to speak out about politics as she's speaking to her parents. Take a listen.
It really is a big deal to me. She votes against fair pay for women. She votes against the reauthorization of the Violence Against Women Act, which is just basically protecting us from domestic abuse and stalking. I need to do this. I need you to forgive me for doing it because I'm doing it.
If Taylor Swift was a 15-year-old little girl and sitting on that couch, cross-legged, crying in front of her mommy and daddy about how she wanted to find her voice, I would buy that. Again, Taylor Swift is 34 years old. Okay,
what if what's happened to Taylor Swift is kind of what happened to Michael Jackson, man, where they didn't have a childhood, so they're stuck as children. Anybody ever thought of that? Huh? At least she hasn't referred to herself as queen. That's too much. Yeah, no shit. Zombie Bone says, yes, Trump bad. What's the current world? Trump. Orange Man bad.
She does not need to ask mommy and daddy to do anything at all. She never has to have to, for a very long time has she had to ask her parents whether she can do anything. She owns homes all over the world. In fact, she buys homes wherever her many boyfriends live every time that she's dating them. So this is her selling an act. She's very thoughtful. She's very intelligent. It's a marketing act of her once again being a little girl, which is fine because that marketing act works for her. But when she uses it to attack individuals and to send people, get her legion of fans to send death threats to every single person that makes her angry, it becomes extremely problematic. I will give you just one example that made me really recognize how absolutely insane Taylor Swift is. Scooter Braun is a huge executive. He owns Big Machine Records with Scott Borchetta. This is who Big Machine Records is.
All right, that's about enough of Taylor Swift.
She was just 15 years old.
Did you guys hear about what's that little fuck's name? Justin Bieber? Turns into a lizard.
Justin Bieber is involved in a bizarre sexual religious cult, according to his biggest hater. Plus, surprise, Justin also happens to be a giant shape-shifting lizard. Hey guys. guys, it's Allie with your Daily Beaver, and it seems like Justin's beef with Marilyn Manson is back on. Recall Consequence of Sound reported Justin told Manson he made him relevant again, right after taking Manson's image without his permission for Purpose Tour merch. Justin felt like an a-hole after seeing the report and contacted Manson to squash the beef. However, Marilyn is firing back at Justin, telling The Scully Show,
well, he's in some sort of sexual religious cult with a Asian version of David Vaughn, apparently. Because the guy doesn't wear a shirt, but I don't like to fight with girls. So,
Marilyn's disrespect to JB is crushing me harder than this stage prop crushed him. Get well soon, Satan. Just kidding. Stay in hell, Beelzebub. To this JB conspiracy, did you know Justin is actually a lizard person? He's not, but enough people think he is, so Rolling Stone decided to debunk this insane conspiracy theory. The mag reports the Australian news site Perth Now allegedly released a report claiming hundreds of fans saw JB shapeshift into a giant lizard at Perth Airport. The alleged report even had quotes from people like a local skater who claimed bodyguards tried to cover JB mid-transformation and threatened to kick people's teeth in if they didn't put their phones away. Clearly it worked because there's no video evidence of Lizard Justin, right?
Well, I will be a son of a bitch. Let's see. How desperate is Beaver got? Oh yeah, when he's like, man, I mean Marilyn Manson reveling again. And then Justin Bieber calls to squash everything, and Manson's like, no, you little faggot. Manson was like, no, fuck that, I ain't accepting your apology. So, point, Antichrist Superstar. Sent you a video on Thomas Sowell, so much more interesting for me. Good photo. See who this Thomas Sowell fella is. I don't want to get wrapped up in a long video. I'm jumping around video to video. Pentagon to remove memorial. To remove monument. To remove memorial to Confederate dead from Arlington National. Well, that's fucked up. Thomas Sowell. This is why the left only focuses on race. I assume this is what you're talking about, sir.
Welcome back, America. We're here with Dr. Thomas Sowell. The book is Social Justice Fallacies. I'm going to encourage you to go to Amazon.com and grab a copy. Any major bookstore should have a copy. And it is very readable, and it is worth reading, particularly now in these times. Dr. Sowell,
I've got it turned up all the way. I'm sorry.
equality, immediately race pops into mind.
It's about as good as we're going to get.
Racial discrimination, at the founding of the nation, white dominant society, so forth and so on. And you make the case, and you've made this case throughout your life, but it's very poignant in your book, which is, wait a minute, of course this has some impact, but it's not the only thing that has an impact. But why? First of all, what other things have an impact? It's probably an infinite list of things. And secondly, why do they only focus on race on the left?
I guess it's because that's proven to be a politically popular thing to do. But in point of fact, one of the things that's mentioned in the book is a study that was done by the New York Times, of all people, some years ago, where they tried to show the 10 poorest counties in the United States, and they mentioned which ones they were and so on. It turns out that 6 of those 10 counties had a population that was from 90% to 100% white. Now, in the New York Times, they didn't mention the race of the people, but once they told me the counties, I looked it up. And in fact, I followed the average income in those 6 counties over a span of 50 years. And in all those 50 years, all 6 of those counties had a median income lower than the median income of black Americans. Now, and so the people in those counties faced zero racism because they were white and indistinguishable from all other whites. They didn't have a legacy of slavery, and yet there they were. You have to ask then, clearly there must be other things that cause poverty. We can't just assume that because people of a given race have more poverty than some other people, that race must be the reason. But this has become the automatic kind of thing, and I think most people would be quite surprised. One of the things that happens is that behavior matters, and you see that in so many different ways. For example, I think most people would be surprised to learn that
Dude's 93.
blacks as a whole have a higher poverty rate than whites as a whole. Black married couple families have for more than a quarter of a century, every single year, had a poverty rate under 10%. And in most of those years, the national poverty rate was not as low as 10%. So it's not a quite, and you say, well, this is due to institutional racism. In that case, does that mean that the racists make an exception for blacks who are married? I mean, do racists either know or care whether blacks are married? None of these glib explanations stands up to the slightest empirical study.
And let's talk about this when it comes to minorities generally. You have an Asian population in this country that achieves a lot as a group, intellectually, education-wise, and they are discriminated against by these Ivy League colleges, by Harvard. We just had a Supreme Court decision and so forth, the way Jews were 100 years earlier, by Harvard, Yale, Princeton, and so forth. So the people who push this race issue, is it that they really care about black people or Asian people or Jewish people, or is it that it's just another wedge issue to try and destroy this culture and destroy this society?
There are some people who are both. Some really believe it, and I feel sorry for them. But there are some who really don't.
He has turned more blacks against the left than anyone by explaining the BS they do. The left hate him so much they call him not a real black. Was he an Uncle Tom? Well, his name's Thomas, so I guess he's an Uncle Tom.
Here, if it gets them elected, that's what matters. And this is one of the tragedies of trying to politicize race. There are so many fallacies that it's hard to even know which one to take up. But for example, the great narrative is that blacks rose from poverty, got into professional occupations as a result of the 1960s social welfare programs, and that this has been a big benefit. One of the problems with this way of looking at things is that everything depends on when you pick as the start of this trend. If you go back to 1940, that is 20 years before these wonderful things are supposed to have happened in the 1960s, and you discover that the degree to which blacks were in poverty declined from 87% in 1940 to 47% in 1960. So it went down by 40 points in those 20 years. Now you look at the 20 years following 1960, they went down 18 points. And so the trend did not begin in the 1960s. The trend was there before then, and the trend did not even accelerate after 1960. Many people think that it all began with the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Well, that was a fine act to get rid of the segregation laws in the South. But the cold fact is that the percentage of blacks who had professional occupations doubled from 1954 to 1964. That is in the decade ending at the time that the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was passed. If you look at the things that are negative, like, for example, black children being raised in single-parent households. In 1940, just under 17% of black kids were raised in one-parent families. But after 1960s, before the end of the century, 4 times that many, 68% of black kids were being raised in one-parent families. And that does not depend on racism or any of the other things they talk about. It depends upon things that happened due to the policies of the 1960s, which are still going forward.
Which encourage the dissolution of the family. It's just unbelievable. Dr. So when we return, my big question for you is, as a nation, where do we go from here? And how do we start down that road? We'll be right back.
I wanna show you guys this video. I watched it the other day. I just thought it was interesting. I'm not saying I believe it or anything, but I just wanted to show you guys this. I thought it was pretty cool. Don't know about you guys, but my least favorite race is egg and spoon. All right, play.
This explains our purpose on Earth if it's true. Y'all couldn't stop asking me about it, so here you go. I can't even say it. Who are the Anunnaki? Simple terms, they're the true OG creation myth as recorded by the ancient Sumerians, who are widely regarded as the first ever civilization in history. Predating even the Egyptians, the Sumerians existed about 6,000 years ago. And in 1849, our whole understanding of ancient history was shattered when 14 tablets over 4,000 years old were uncovered in their region of Mesopotamia. Y'all ready for this one? Because these tablets pretty much explain our purpose on Earth in the most clear-cut way possible. This is the story of the Anunnaki, the Eridu Genesis. So,
see, like, it is entirely possible that this happened. It is entirely possible that this happened. I'm not saying it did, but it's possible that it could have. How many years ago did he say it was? Like 10,000 years ago or some shit? It's very possible, man. Very fucking possible.
45,000 years ago.
445,000 years ago. Yes, it is possible.
Gods came to Earth in search of resources. The Anunnaki, whose name can be taken to mean those from which heaven to earth came. They came from another world called Nibiru, one that visits Earth every 3,600 years, ruled by their king Anu. Now here's the first red flag. Another planet visiting ours this infrequently is impossible, right? Not according to NASA. In fact, they've been finding evidence of this planet for years. Except they call it Planet X, or Planet 9, and many top-ranking researchers analyzed data and pretty much all but confirmed its existence. And the reason we can't see it is because its orbit looks like this. A super elongated path around the sun that only gets close to Earth every 3,600 years. And we know orbits like this are physically possible, as they've observed in other exoplanets. Anyway, story goes on to say that living conditions on Nibiru deteriorated and became hostile. So the Anunnaki came down to Earth for some goods, specifically water and gold, which apparently helps restore the planet's health. Now, it might just be a coincidence, but gold is actually used in modern spacecraft to shield from radiation, so were the Sumerians aware of that? They established a base on Earth called Eridu, made for collecting these resources in the Persian Gulf. They sent down...
What do you guys think about this? I mean, I'm not asking, do you think it's... I'm not saying if you believe it's real or not, but what's your just overall thoughts of this? The whole scenario that 445,000 years ago, an ancient race came here to Earth. Their planet's deteriorating. They need gold and water. I mean, as a story, I mean, I think it's possible, man.
Anu's son to lead this expedition and rule over Eridu. With him, he brought the Igigi, another race of demigods who were essentially their slaves to gather the gold and water they needed. Now, the Igigi were down bad after 250,000 years of slave labor with little reward. So
yeah, 200 years don't sound that bad now, does it, black people? I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. I should not have said that. As for alien stuff, meh, I'm not staring into space to look for a spaghetti mess. Well, so, I mean, do you think that there's life out there? Or do you just not think about it at all? Connor says, it's a lot more than a TikTok video can explain. Zachariah Stitchin has a lot of lectures on this. I think he is paraphrasing yeah, like, that's the reason I showed this, is because it is, well, I mean, it's a pretty long video, actually. It's like, it goes another 5 minutes almost. But it did sum it up really good. and that's why I tried to remember it, and I remembered that it was in an anonymous video.
Lost, and now the Anunnaki had no workers. So Anu orders Enki to create a new slave race, intelligent yet obedient. Enki combines his essence with a species of cave-dwelling savages that exist on Earth at this time. That would be Homo erectus, our prehistoric ancestors. And through this process, he created humans, us, Homo sapiens. Now, this combining of essence is taken to be interpreted.
Now, I've said before that I do believe that there was some type of intervening when it comes to our evolution as a species. I do. What is it called? Panspermia? Is that what it is? Where like another, life form interacts and changes the DNA, basically busting out in the ooze, and then there's humans and shit. I do believe that there was some sort of advanced race that came down and genetically altered something and made humans, because the whole thing that we evolved from apes and shit. No. There's a reason why we're so much smarter than every other species on this planet. So I've stated that before. Of course, there's life out there. Microorganisms have been found on meteorites. Alien baby gravy parade for Earth women. Alien baby gravy.
As genetic engineering. Sounds absolutely ridiculous, I know, but y'all remember Bob Lazar? The whistleblower on all that UFO, space tech, and aliens, which literally all turned out to be true? Just listen to what he had to say about certain classified documents regarding genetic engineering.
There is an extremely classified document dealing with religions about that thing, saying basically that basically that we're a product of genetic engineering from someone. Yeah. How can you just swallow that whole?
I don't know about you, but he clearly seemed genuinely uncomfortable talking about it.
Zombie Bone says, explain the prehensile tail then? Had to come from somewhere. What the hell is a prehensile tail? I can't explain that, dude. I don't know.
So in the tablets, they called this new species the first men, translated to Adamu.
Oh, the tailbone? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I still don't know. I have no explanation for it. I'm not a scientist. I just have theories and what I think could have happened. I don't know. I don't claim to have all the answers. I don't know where the tailbone came from. Could have just been the way that our spines developed or some shit. I don't fucking know.
Now in Hebrew, Adam translates to man. So Adamu was taken to mean men of Adam. Does that name sound familiar to you? Reminder that these tablets were dated to around 2400 BC, a whole 1,000 years before the book of Genesis was first set to be written. These new genetic hybrid humans started working the mines in place of the original Ijiji, which in return for their work were educated with the gift of civilization, language, agriculture, governing, housing, technology, medicine. Some Anunnaki got a little close with the humans and bred with them. Yes, that's exactly what you think it is, and gave birth to giants, even though they were specifically instructed to not procreate with them. At this point, there's a new leader in charge.
Do you think there were giants at one point? I pray for the day, Jay, when I can actually talk to you so I can articulate with my voice and not sound like a bunch of random words on the screen. We will. We will one day. We will. I don't like talking on the phone. You would think with me talking on here, I wouldn't mind talking on the phone, but I hate talking on the phone. But I guess I got my phone hooked up to my computer. Like, I get all text messages and all that shit. I guess I could sit here and just talk to you here, just like this. And I'd be able to hear you. There's always Discord. That's right. Zombie Bone. Yeah, that's right. There's always Discord. I respect your privacy. Oh, no, dude. Privacy? Psh, what privacy? Yeah, I'm a fucking open book, man. In truth, for me and aliens, says Zombie Bone, I suspect they exist. But at the end of the day, when they show up here, we're doomed anyway. Because I doubt they show up and go, "Hey, what's up, guys? How you guys doing?" Y'all ready to explore the galaxy? You know, that is one thing where I do kind of have the Disney fairy tale ending, is an alien invasion. And I do want them to show up, and I want them to cure all diseases, and I want them to help us evolve to the next step, because us evolving has kind of hit a standstill, and we're not heading in a good direction. We need some type of alien intervention to come down and be like, look, y'all need to chill the fuck out. Look, let's explore the galaxy together. You're all one race of human beings. You're ants compared to us, but we're here to help. I suspect less Vulcans are here to save us and more Mars attack. Yeah, well, you know, a man can dream.
And Lil, who was Enki's brother, and he wasn't having any of this debauchery. But no biggie, because he had a population control plan in place. A cataclysmic event that wipes humanity from the Earth, said to be caused by Nibiru's gravitational effect on Earth, aka the Great Flood. How convenient. And Lil took this opportunity to dip back to Nibiru so that Earth can be rid of all these unworthy inhabitants. The translations claim that Enlil and his crew left in their celestial boats that took them to the sky and circled Earth. Hey, that sounds like spaceships, rockets, and orbits to me. But Enki felt more sympathy, so he instructed some chosen humans to build boats so they could survive the flood. Noah's Ark, anyone? The flooding lasted for 7 days, yet another creation story told by almost every other culture of our past. There is countless proof of this intense flooding all around the world, but that's a rabbit hole for another time. The small number of humans that survived the flood started to rebuild civilization. Enki and other Anunnaki helped them rebuild in all corners of the Earth, which is said to have given rise to the pyramids, megaliths, and advanced masonry techniques that we see all over the world. And eventually they left Earth and they had one civilization that was more advanced than the rest. This were the Sumerians. This exact story is even told in the Atrahasis of the Akkadians and the Enuma Elish from the Babylonians. Now this is where it gets tricky. The Anunnaki appointed kings, humans that acted as their representatives on Earth to make sure that the people still lived under their control, whose ruling authority would be passed down to every generation in what would become the elite class as we know today. You know, Rothschilds, Illuminati, royal family, Freemasons, whatever you want to call it. And it's how they continue to rule Earth for thousands of years to this day from a planet far ass away. Basically, the story claims that we're a genetically engineered species that were designed as slaves to serve a ruling class. And we really do see this slave-master paradigm all throughout history. Up until the last couple hundred years, the entire world population was divided into a peasant class and an upper class of royals, nobles, the rulers, kings, emperors, shoguns, and the plebs they rule over. But today, things are different. Or are they? Did the peasant class just become the modern day working class? And the ruling class now work behind the scenes in an attempt to give us the illusion of freedom?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I liked that. I'm intrigued. It sounds like a damn good book. Are you? Who mentioned the book that this was from? Was it Connor or Zombie Bone? All right, that's Taylor Swift stuff. All right, well, you're the one that said that Zachariah Stitchin. I think he's talking about my comment just above. Gotta be Zombie Bone. Oh, okay, my bad. My bad. I'm a little stoned. I'm sorry. I want to show you guys this. Me and the girlfriend was looking at this earlier. Cameos. You guys ever wanted a cameo? A little stone. I'm only a little stoned, man. Just been smoking weed. That's it. Who do you guys want to get a cameo from? If that's not a Camaro, a cameo. And that reminds me, I've got something to send you on Discord already. Let's see. Let's go to this is what I was looking at. WWE. Let's see. Okay, it looks all right. Mick Foley. You can get one from old Mankind. $50. let's see, you can get one from, I wouldn't mind getting one from Liv Morgan, but she is $350. Holy shit balls. These are all new people. I don't care about any of them. Where's the next page? 24 results. That's it? No, it's more than that. Alright, let's do Ric Flair was on here yesterday and he was like $300 and some dollars. I'll do it for free if I can use the N word with impunity. Let's do metal. Let's see who all metal is on here. Let's see how does it look on. Okay, let me fix this a little bit. There we go. If you guys recognize anyone, point them out. We got the lead singer of Cradle of Filth. William Duvall, the guy that sang in Alice in Chains for a while. Guar. I've met Guar before. James Labrie. Is that Dream Theater? Another Guar. I'm not paying attention. Sorry. Finding my first book segment for Connor. Okay. Oh, well, it's a good thing I'm talking out loud then. You get one from Dave Mustaine for $300. Let's see what his are like. Oh, he makes short ones.
Hey, Chris, this is Dave Mustaine, and I sent you a message to give Harry. Do me a favor. Let me know how harsh you want me to be, because I don't want to get too crazy on him, okay? Hit me back and I'll do this right away. All right, bud?
$300 to get a message from Dave Mustaine. Eddie Trunk. Five Finger Death Punch. Oh, John Five is on here. He's on Manson and Rob Zombie.
Anthony, what's up, buddy? It's John Five. I got a little song here to cheer you up. Goes something like this.
That's cool. I'm going to start making cameos. Let's see who else we got. D. Snyder's $250.
It's me, D. Snyder, from Twisted Sister, Strangeland, Celebrity Apprentice, House of Hair. I've done so many damn things. I've been on Broadway, and I'm here to light you up. People are always asking me to make video messages for them. Now I can. All you gotta do is order one. Whatever you want, whatever you need done, I will do the job. The good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm perfect for this job. I'm here.
I bet the Island Boys are on. One of them is on here. Yes, I remember seeing it. Yeah, one of the Island Boys are on here. Rat, Motorhead, Lamb of God, Five Finger Death Punch. Yeah, it was rappers. I don't know who any of these people are, so I'm just gonna skim through till I find a The island boy. We type it in. Yep, there the stupid fucks are.
Boy here, hey listen, I am accepting cameos as of right now, so if you want to go ahead and book one, do it right now. You don't want to miss out the best cameos in the game.
They got so many fucking tattoos, they just look fucking idiotic. How much did they cost? I didn't see that part. Airsoft Fatty is on here. There's someone. There's Drunk Jesus. There's Jesus Christ. Let's see what old drunk Jesus.
The man's here to wish people a happy birthday or to give bad news. I kind of want to give bad news. Watch this. Let's just say your daughter's goldfish died. I can fucking relay the bad news. Watch this. Hey, little Susie. Your grandma just kicked the bucket. She's dead. Getting at your goldfish. See? Soften the blow. You know what I mean?
That's fucking stupid. So Tweaker Jesus, yes, basically. Island Boys want $65. The Voros twins. Who the fuck are they? The twins that said Da Vink. What the flying? What the fuck?
It's the best cameo. Da Vinci? Oh, what's up, guys? We're the Voros Twins. And if you or someone you know want a personalized video message from us, now you can. From birthday wishes to video shoutouts to your sus and Da Vinci. We can say whatever you want. Surprise someone with a personalized cameo today.
My eyes and ears have AIDS now from listening to that. That hurt. I got a headache. Oh God, my blood pressure is going up. The bigger the boobs, the bigger the price. More than likely. This chick right here, Prince the Bird and Tamia, she's $35. But let's go. Well, she's 50. I ought to just charge like $5. Just $5. And, I'll say whatever. I'll just focus on my book. Thank you. Humanity Hurts Me. Is Snooks on there? I really doubt that. I really... Patty and Patty. Oh, let's see what Patty and Patty are up to. 2 Italian-American broads and BFFs from New York City who love to complain. Oh, you ladies sound amazing.
Hey, what do you want with them A-list celebrities? When you can have the C-list. Let's face it, we're the Z-list. It don't get no lower than us. So hire Patty and Patty for your next occasion. A birthday, wedding, graduation, confirmation, bar mitzvah, whatever. And just so you know, we're not a couple of chooches. We got over 500,000 followers on TikTok. Get Patty and Patty for your next cameo. Where you gonna go? What are you gonna do?
500,000 followers on TikTok. I'm speechless. I'm speechless. Well, clearly someone wanted to get yelled at by a British, Italian, probably gets them off. It's some sicko out there that gets off by being yelled at by some old Jewish lady from the Bronx. All right, let's see. Let's find something else. Categories, creators. Let's do podcast. Podcast. Whoa. Hello. $45 for those boobs. There's Vince Russo. That's funny. Melissa Ford at $65. Nope, she don't look as good as she did in the picture. They had a YouTube category. Trisha Paytas, Nikocado Avocado, Dr. Now, Ricky Berwick. Oh, Ricky Berwick's on here. I still can't stop laughing at that kid and his dad video you showed me. It's fucking hilarious. It's fucking sick. It's horrible. I got about as far as him grabbing his dad's butt, and I was like, I can't watch this no more. I'm going to hell if I watch this. TikTok is a cesspool. Oh man, it's a. Ugh. That's the point. I know, but still, goddamn. Ew.
Kelton, you getting married soon. Congratulations. But she's an ugly broad. Better.
That's funny. Ricky Berwick. I don't recognize any of these people. Let's see, categories. Musicians. Let's go to rock music. We found Cyrex's next financial venture. What's that? Cameos? You might be onto something, man. Hell, man, I got some messages. Let's see. What was I gonna look up after this? I've been trying to think one step ahead tonight. Show something and then have something planned for next. So give me a minute while I Sebastian Bach is on here. Oh man. Let's see. Let's go back to WWE. Just curious what hers look like. What she's offering.
This is WWE superstar Liv Morgan, and I'm finally, for a limited time, available on Cameo. There's only 10 spots available, so please book now, and don't forget to stream Money in the Bank live July 18th.
Yeah, she could get it. Love hanging out with you, buddy. Yeah, man, I love hanging out with you guys too, man. Like, that's why I get on here, is to hang out and talk to y'all, because I don't talk to anybody in real life except girlfriend. And, I don't have any friends or anything to hang out with, so, I mean, you two are pretty much it. I systematically got rid of everybody else, because they were all shit. Alright, let's see. Actors. Let's see what kind of actors we got on Cameo. Chuck Norris, $350. Holy shit, guys.
Hi, everyone. Chuck Norris here. I'm excited to be on Cameo and connect with you, all my friends. I look forward to hearing from all of you.
He has gotten old. I'm watching this, looking up poison plants. Nice. Nice. You want from Chong? Chong is on here. There's a lady from The Office. Freddie Prinze Jr. That's a dude from Scrubs. Was that a killer clown? Yeah, that's from the movie The Terrifier. It's a horror movie. It's a couple of horror movies, Terrifier movies. Yeah, dude from Breaking Bad is on there. Let's see, come on, let's go back. He does the voice of Puma in Lion King. Dean Cain. There's another dude from Breaking Bad. It's a dude from NCIS. There's Hercules. Ernie Hudson. Wait, hold up. When booking any business in-house or services, must be booked at my business price, which is $500. Please book me at cameo.com and not on this app. Not on the app. Thank you. Jesus Christ. You want $500? Come on, man. I'll look through one more and then we'll move on to something else. So who wants the most for a cameo? So far, the Liv Morgan with $350 was the most expensive I've seen so far. Let's search $100 plus. I wonder if there's a way we can get all categories. View all. Alright, and Ted Nugent wants 400. Alright, filters. $100 plus. Okay, so let's see. Kenny G wants $375. Shaggy 2 Dope wants $150. My CP. Dave Mustaine wanted $300. So yeah, right now it's looking like Ted Nugent up there at $400 is the most expensive. That's funny. I just give my donation money to the local food bank. Thanks. I doubt these people are struggling to get canned. Yeah, I don't know. Kenny G, man, he might be struggling right now. Yeah, you ain't heard much from him lately. Let's see, for kids. What could be on here for kids? That is terrifying. That will scar them for life. Nothing cool. I barely recognize any of it. Oh yeah, it's a lot. Those were a lot of like B-list celebrities. You know what I'm saying? Like not really famous people. Let's see. Let's check out Netflix. Yeah, I have no idea. Tom Cruise is not on here, no. Is that Winnie Cooper? No, this one looks better.
Larry, this is Danica McKellar. Yes, from many Hallmark movies, and when I was a kid, from the Wonder Years.
I had such a crush on her. What is it, K-Cat? This dude, John Carroll Lynch, he was in a really good episode of The Walking Dead. A really good episode. The dude from Stephen Ogg from Grand Theft Auto and Walking Dead. Yeah, he's on here. That's funny. He was a crazy motherfucker in both of them, actually. He's crazy as hell. Alright, let's see. What am I going to play next? Let me get rid of this. Corey Feldman is not on here either. However, let's watch some Corey Feldman. I was watching some of his live shit a few days ago, and I was like, oh man, this is too much. This is too good. This is too fucking good. What is it, sweet girl? Hey, baby. Corey Feldman live. I don't want to get copyright struck by old Corey. Yeah, I saw some clowncore live. It was like they were in this like little room looking thing. It's just a box, and yeah, it was pretty cool, man. Yeah, I saw that. This is weeks ago. Here he comes, the comeback king. You know, after watching the Corey Feldman Experience and listening to the music and shit, made me feel really good about myself as a musician. I'm like, man, I'm not bad. I am not bad. You know, I pulled out my guitar and played a little bit after listening to Corey, and I was like, shit, dude, I'm not bad. Fuck. Made me feel better about myself. It's so bad. You ever watch something and you feel embarrassed for the person that you're watching? I'm getting secondhand embarrassment here. I feel embarrassed for what he's trying to do. It's so bad. Like, I feel embarrassed for him. I don't know if you ever seen this one or not.
If you grew up in the 80s, right here, you may have had some Corey Feldman posters on your walls. I'm going to say it, right here. His name is synonymous with the decade. Movies like The Goonies, Stand By Me, License to Drive. He's always had a passion for singing, and now Corey's got a double CD.
Yes, and we hear it's a labor of love for you. 10 years in the making. It's called Angelic to the Core. He's going
Look at that CD cover. I'm not the best in the world at... Look at that. I could have made something better than that. That looks like it was made on a cell phone with some crappy little photo editing program that you could download off the Google Play Store. Like, that's just bad. I could have done a better job than that. That is bad.
to the core, and he's going to sing for us in just a moment. Corey, good morning to you.
Good morning to you guys. The angelic, I see it all around me.
We see why.
Tell me what's happening. You got a Grim Reaper look going on. The angels are here. I don't like this interaction.
No, it's all actually the whole theme of the album is good versus evil, heaven versus hell, all that sort of thing. So they're angelic, and if you look actually at the artwork on the album, you'll see that it's me trying to crawl out of a fiery pit, and it's the angels pulling me out. So it kind of all goes along with the concept.
Why this concept?
Well, probably because I know that angels have probably saved me once or twice in my life, and I like helping them as well. That's why I created Corey's Angels, as a way to help them.
Corey's Angels.
Kind of lost and needed to find their way to get their opportunities, their dreams, and make them realities. And that's what we do. We try to help them make their realities, their dreams.
And you dedicated one album to Michael Jackson and the other to Corey Haim, is that right?
Yeah, there's actually 4 dedications. One to my grandfather, one to Corey Haim, one to Michael Jackson. Majestic, who was also a friend of Michael's.
There's going to be some MJ moves coming here in a minute.
This is going to be so irky.
Similar style of dance because we grew up dancing together. So he was my idol, obviously, and a lot of my influences.
If you have that feeling it's about to go down in here, I also have it. Let's do this. Here we go.
Oh, this is going to be so bad. Oh, no. No, come on. I'll give you a minute to recover after watching that. He is serious though. He's in that mode, dude. He's in Feld mode. I've seen this already, so I know what I'm in for. Okay, then you know. Is there any chance in hell that guitar player or that bassist is playing anything? Are their guitars even hooked up? The only thing making noise on that stage is the laptop that's hooked up to some speakers. Yeah, that was totally playing bass right there. Ugh. Corey Feldman interview goes horribly wrong. Okay, sounds good.
Corey Feldman's controversial performance on the Today Show, which just generated an enormous amount of social media attention.
Thank you for having me.
On
I feel
Friday,
great.
on Friday, you performed your new song called "Go For It," and you thought your performance was exactly the way you wanted it to go.
Oh wait, I wanna see what this is about. The talk. Corey.
I would believe that it's your music career that's been more financially rewarding for you.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's been the last 5 years that my music luckily blew up. And again, this was...
It blew up? How old is this video? 1 year ago? So, wait. His music has been blowing up for 5 years? Where have I been?
I believe just an attempt to try and like knock me down and make me look like a jackass. Sorry for the expression.
It's all good.
But yeah, I mean, because we did the Today Show, which was obviously a setup. I mean, like every single media outlet at the exact same moment, the second we walked off stage, was like, "What was that? What was that bizarre, strange performance?" You know?
Because that's exactly what it was, sir. I'm not sure if you're self-aware enough to realize that what you performed was just not good. Just not good, sir.
Corey Feldman really blew the, donkey or whatever. Like, it was terrible. What was he thinking? And it was all across the board. Everybody had the exact same headline. Like, you're telling me that there's not one single media outlet that saw it a little bit differently or had a different perspective or wrote maybe a few different words? No, it was the exact same language across the board at the same time. Isn't that miraculous?
Who'd you piss off?
Exactly. So,
do you think
a bunch
that
of pedophiles that are very powerful? Too.
Do you think that in that case, because there was so much widespread, coverage?
I'm going to pause it. I don't want to get in trouble by Steve-O. Self-aware enough. Yeah, it's some people that lack self-awareness. I know who and what I am. I am fully self-aware. I am aware. I know my faults. I know I'm not... I know where I stand in this world. I'm not delusional to think that I could start a band and dance like Michael Jackson and be taken seriously. You get these women and they're like, you get dudes asking, what do you rate yourself? 1 out of 10. I'm a 10. I'm a bad bitch. No, not really. No. And you got to understand when you look in the mirror that, me anyway, I'm a very negative person towards myself. So, if I had to rate myself out of a 1 to 10, I'm probably around I'm not ugly. So I'd say a 5.5 or a 6. And so I know where I stand in this world, and I know what I'll never be. But the delusion that you can write a song that's as shitty as "Let's go for it, let's go for it," dancing like Michael Jackson while you're a demon and your angels ain't even they're probably high as balls back there. To not be self-aware and then wonder why every headline was, "Did you see that abortion? That was horrible. The Corey Feldman performance. Let's look at it and laugh because it's funny." And Corey's like, Not even one other person thought it was good? No, no, no. Connor says, I'm not even self-aware enough to not be drinking spirits and eating triple chocolate brownies at the same time. Ooh, I don't know about that. I don't know. You're a very honest person. Trust me. Like, I get told that a lot. Like, my mom, she had to tell my girlfriend one time, like, she had called looking for me, and she told my girlfriend, she was like, you ain't ever gonna meet no one more honest than Jonathan. Like, he's gonna tell you like it is. He don't care if you hurt your feelings. He's gonna tell you the truth. And that's something that here's the reason why I do not lie, is because my memory sucks so bad. I will forget that lie and then get myself in more trouble. So it's easier to just go ahead and deal with the truth, which I don't ever do shit that's wrong. So I don't typically never have really anything to worry about. But it's easier. I would rather piss you off by telling you the truth than lie to you just to make you happy. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm just that kind of dude. And I expect the same in return. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm my worst critic. I give myself, I hate myself. But going back to Corey Feldman. Zero self-awareness.
This performance, which was critically panned, like just the fact that there was that much coverage, do you think that
inadvertently it really goes through the roof?
Right.
First of
So
all,
you
it was the
subscribe.
most, because of what they did, it backfired. It was the most viewed performance in the Today Show history.
But not for the reason you want it to be. You want it to be the most viewed video in history on that talk show because it was an amazing performance. Like, mind-blowing performance on the Today Show. Not because it was so bad. And that's why it has the most views, is because it was a goddamn travesty what happened. And it was hilarious, and he became the laughing stock for a while. Wait, what did I come back to? Well, you never know, man. Never know. You shouldn't have left. Remember when he did that live stream where he was going to name his Hollywood abusers? I think I remember that. I want to say I remember that. He was fucked up, wasn't he? He was all fucked up, I think. Or is that Charlie Sheen? I can't remember. But no, Tio, we were talking about self-awareness and just knowing who you are in this world, and how Corey Feldman, thinking that his band is good, has zero self-awareness. Charlie Sheen, yes. Got that tiger blood, man.
That's what she said. So Tamra Hall said it on live TV. She goes, "This is the most viewed performance in the TodayShow.com ever." Boom.
Right.
So that was her quote.
Subscribe to the notion that there's no such thing as bad publicity in this case.
Well, there isn't, as long as they're writing about you or talking about you, then you're in good shape. So that's why what they're doing to me now is even worse, because they won't even have me on to explain what's been going on.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, because you kind of blew it. I guess he thinks that since he's been in Hollywood since he was a child, and he's in the movies and all that stuff, and he's been a celebrity his entire life, that he feels that he should get infinite respawns. You know what I'm saying? Or did a movie, okay, cool. Did another movie, cool. All right, this movie flopped, that movie flopped, but you keep getting these movie deals. All right, my band, it sucks now, and no one wants anything to do with it. He kind of fucked up there, man. And the Michael Jackson, just the creepy dancing and shit. Like, if he would have put more effort, he has been entitled his entire life. You're absolutely right, man. Yeah, and any anyone in Hollywood, I don't care about. Cat Williams is a badass. I've been watching him talk a bunch of shit about everybody, and Cat Williams is a badass. All right, let me see. What are we going to watch next? Let me think. You spent a lot of time with Michael Jackson, too. Yeah, but I don't think Michael Jackson was a bad guy. I don't think he ever molested any kids or anything. I think he was probably a weird dude. Yeah. But I don't see any... I can judge people. I can look at their face, you know. I can feel their energy. Looking at Michael's face was kind of tricky. And it had some work done to it. But I had to just feel, man, Michael Jackson. He seemed too loving and caring to ever hurt a child, man. Michael was innocent, man. Michael was innocent. Weird dude. They had to shut down a grocery store so he could feel normal. They shut down like an entire mall so he could go shopping one time. I remember seeing that. He was disgusting. Michael Jackson. Man, I'm going to start banning people. Simone! I'll start playing some Michael Jackson. Don't think I won't. We will watch Thriller all goddamn night if we have to. He was taking male model photos and sticking Boyd's heads. No, he was not. That is ridiculous. Not Michael. He was going out and buying golden wedding rings. No, you're full of shit, Connor. You're full. You it's ignorant. It's ignorant. You're being ignorant. So Alex Jones is on Twitter. I saw that, or X, excuse me. I seen Alex Jones came back to Twitter.
The second thing that bothers me is the UFO story.
Oh wait, Tucker on UFOs? We're gonna watch that. Breaking momentary power cut across New York City, then followed with light seen flickering for a second. No reason has been provided. There was a cyber attack overseas somewhere yesterday, I believe it was. No one calls it X. I'm sure I don't always. I sure don't anyway. Always Twitter to me. Yeah, it's hard, and it just doesn't sound right, man. When you're trying to just, yeah, man, I'm gonna go on X and look around. I'm gonna go on Twitter. Twitter just flows like when you say X, it's just gotta stop. Twitter has a flow to it. It's gotta flow. You gotta feel the rhythm, baby. Anyway, let's listen to what Tucker has to say about aliens.
The second thing that bothers me is the UFO story. And, the more you dig into that and talk to people with actual knowledge of it, again...
I can make it bigger. Hang on a minute. That's what she said. Screen capture. There we go.
Some,
no, damn it.
Floating around that are just, there's no evidence that they're true. But
Fuck
part
it.
of it is the public.
Did it work?
The thing that bothers me is the UFO story. And, the more you dig into that and talk to people with actual knowledge of it, again, that's another story where there are some, fanciful ideas floating around that are just, there's no evidence that they're true. But if you talk to people who, have actual knowledge of it that they gathered themselves, there are parts of that story that I do not understand at all. that are really, really, really dark. It's so dark that I, haven't told my wife about it. I mean, I haven't verified any of this, but this is not just stuff that I read on the internet. I know you all are very, very grounded in that story, so I think I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But there's some stuff there that's just like, man, I'm not even sure what that means. There's a spiritual component there that I don't fully understand. So yes, that story bothers me. And I think, last thing I'll say, that one of the reasons that we've had all these disclosures and all these, 10 whistleblowers at this point, and it hasn't really become front page news. Part of it's suppression. Parts of the government don't want you to know about it, but part of it is the public can't deal with it. It's too far out. The implications are too profound. And so, and I understand that. Because I've heard things where I'm just like, oh man, I don't even really want to know that, honestly.
Deeply disturbing stuff. Forget like saucers and technology. It's deeply disturbing stuff that I haven't even told Natalie. I agree with you. It's so disturbing.
Well, tell us.
My kids ask me different stories about it, and I won't
Tell
say
us.
it because it's so dark. It's so dark.
I totally agree.
Miles is watching. So.
Okay, Miles, if you're watching the show, Daddy's not going to tell you about that part of the UFO stuff and what's going on with the government.
Can I say one thing? They've known clearly. I mean, this is, I think, established, and I feel comfortable saying this as fact. The U.S. government, I mean, these are real, whatever they are. They're not human. And the government has known that for a long time, possibly going back to the 1930s at least. And, of course, there's tons of evidence in the written record, in the physical record, in paintings, and in literature, that people have been seeing and interacting with these things for a long time. So we know that. But the justification one often hears is, well, the government...
Oops. What happened? Is it over? What happened? No.
The government, various presidents who have been read in, not all have been, haven't wanted to disclose this because it would scare people. And I've always thought that's bullshit. You're hiding a crime, which they are, by the way, in my opinion. But I do think there's a sense in which that's not totally crazy. Like, there is some stuff, if it's true, and I'm kind of thinking it may be true, that's so radical that, well, as we both said, we don't want to tell the people we love most about it because, like, why would you, disturb someone like that?
It must be bad, but they're not going to tell us. They're going to wait until pay-per-view and make us pay for it. Connor says, I'm thinking of writing a bunch of rich people like Tucker. Just write, Dear Tucker Carlson, can I have $1,000 and leave my deets maybe out of 10,000? Might get one. Hey, I'd be like, hey Tucker, man, look, man, send some subscribers my way, man. I'm trying to get monetized, dude. And I need $1,000 too. Send me $1,000. I need a new computer.
So I kind of get that. I hate to admit it. I'm not arguing for hiding things. I believe in the truth and I believe in disclosure, but I understand the impulse. Like, holy smokes, this is heavy. You know what I mean?
And the government's involvement in it makes it even heavier because then you realize the complicity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about the same thing. I can tell. Okay. Excuse me.
Should I go?
No. This is what we used to talk about in commercial breaks all the time. This is the kind of stuff. Anyway.
At the time, I never would have believed any of that, but now I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, there's some writing above the video. I'm going to read it. Tucker Carlson on UFOs. The public can't deal with it. It's too dark. What does Tucker know? There's a spiritual component there that I fully don't understand. Part of it is the public can't deal with it. It's too far out there. The implications are too profound. We've heard all that. There's tons of evidence and written record. Okay, my thoughts. And Anon asked Q, are we alone? Oh, Q, what the fuck? Q responded, no, highest classification, consider the vastness of space. Q also said, the truth would put 99% of people in the hospital. It must be controlled. I wonder what would put 99% of people in the hospital. Simply not just aliens, spiritual, in my opinion. It looks like we're getting... Excuse me, sir, I was reading. It looks like we are getting our wishes of disclosure and all of these UFOs discussions just don't feel organic. These discussions instantly landed anyone in the conspiracy theorist category a few years ago. Today, these discussions are occurring in front of a very large audiences now because they're allowed to occur. Why? Predictive programming, future event declass? I don't know what that is, but I'm gonna look it up. It appears to all be building up to something really big that is about to be revealed. I hope so. Cause I'm praying for rain. Praying for tidal. Yeah. You're the alien on the right. Yeah. Yeah. That's me. Boredom, my friend. Boredom. And all of those aliens, I changed their clothes. I changed the color of them. The one in the middle, like his head wasn't initially green. It was like a brownish color. I put in all those pictures in the background, so I had to change the perspective of the picture to make it look like it was going in that circular motion, which wasn't easy to do, but I did it because, I mean, as you can see, those are my pictures back there. There's me lighting a cigarette, and there's the CDCs with the zombies with masks on. I mean, I've used these images before. And then I added the white dude at the computer. I added those in. It's actually a woman beside of him, but she got covered up. Yeah, I added the desk. I added the aliens. Like, all this I made on my own. Way better than the Corey Feldman album cover, isn't it? I can't read all of it because it didn't show up in my chat. Open a web browser. Of course I'm gonna read what you. Okay, of course I'm gonna read what you say. Don't read that, it's gibberish. Well, I mean, I want to read it. Chat box unlock. It's not gonna let me. You were lucky this time, Gadget. A blind monkey. What? Right. I think it's cool that in our lifetime there's the possibility that we'll see UFOs and aliens, which I've seen a spacecraft before. I've said it before. I am usually you catch them. I think we're closer now to aliens showing up than we've been in a long time. Same for the rapture. And when, if aliens show up, someone better film it. Oh, you know they will. That's going to be the first thing they do. If a UFO were to show up just like this right here, say New York City, noon, the first thing people would do would be pull their phone out and start recording it. And I'm going to find it and live stream it. I'm not going to go outside and look for myself for any aliens. Now I'm going to stay inside now. I'm going to stream it. Name one thing Joe Biden has fixed. The election. It's fixed, baby. I said it. I said it. Name a game you played outside as a child that kids these days don't play anymore. Really, 1,000 people trashed the city and no one filmed a moment of it months ago. Yeah, but I mean, it's a big difference in, angry black people and extra dimensional beings from another galaxy hovering in the sky. Like if a spaceship was just like hovering there, not doing anything, people would be pulling their phones out, recording it. Yeah, absolutely. For an idea of just how long Nancy Pelosi's been around, here she is at JFK's inauguration. Good God. Wow. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm scrolling very slowly. I'm doom scrolling, but I'm taking precautions. Developing reports of a power surge moments ago. This is what you were talking about. Parts of New York and New Jersey caused electricity to momentarily flicker. Witnesses report an explosion at Con Edison facility in Brooklyn. I don't see no flickering lights. But weird how that movie, Leave the World Behind, just came out, right? And it was made by the Obamas, man. And like they had something to do with writing the script and stuff, man. And it was about, you know, America being attacked. And then like a day or two later, man, power surges in New York, man. It's happening, dude. Predictive programming, man. They told us it's gonna happen. You gotta read between the lines, dude. Imagine going back to your house and coming back. Oh my, what the fuck? Nope. 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 Nuh-uh. Hell no. Hell to the no, no, no. Lots of great song recommendations. I can't do music on here, unfortunately. I'll get in trouble on YouTube. Send you a video about the lobster war. Yeah, I was just looking at Discord. It sure was. I was seeing what was on here. The dumbest war nobody talks about. Alright, we'll check it out in a minute. I want to check out Twitter. You know, scroll through. I haven't been through here today. Looks like something small exploded at the Con Ed plant in Brooklyn, sending a small fireball of smoke into the air and causing a momentary New York City power outage. Beyonce accused of extreme witchcraft by ex-drummer. I heard that it's years old. We're being visited by a non-human intelligence. What's a horror movie that exceeded your expectations? What's a horror movie that exceeded your guys' expectations? The Exorcism of God was better than I thought it was going to be. That's kind of the latest, like, kind of new movie that I didn't think would be that good. Well, actually, no. I liked that movie, Leave the World Behind. I thought it was... I know a lot of people don't like it. A lot of people don't like it. I really don't give a fuck. I like it. It was better than I thought it was going to be. But no, The Exorcism of God was good. What about you guys? High School Musical? God. All the singing and the dancing and the happy children. A man talks about how he survived a hotel room encounter with the infamous John Wayne Gacy. Some of the American Horror Stories were good.
1970, I had a run-in with John Wayne Gacy. I was about a month or a couple weeks from being 15. It was a typical hot August night. I was at the state park and I was sitting in the lobby. And he walks up to me and he said, "Are you a local?" I said, "Yes." He said, "What sort of doing here?" And I said, "Are you hiking or sailing or camping?" He said, "No." And I started to walk off and said, "Hey, would you like to have a beer?" And I said, "Sure." So we walk down to his room. He opens the door. He walks in behind him and he takes his hand and he grazes my behind. I thought maybe that was a mistake. I took a seat at the first chair and then he goes to a cooler and brings back a beer. So we did. And then he goes over and shuts the curtains and he locks the door. He asked me if I like sex words. And in my mind, I was thinking Playboy. So he takes a suitcase out, sets it on the bed, opens it up. It's full of books. It's probably 50 or 60 magazines there. So he grabs a couple and just hands them to me. And I start thumbing through them. They're all boys. I think this is not right. Something's wrong. I'm in a bad situation. He comes back through and he says, "I got something else you might like." So he goes to the other side of the bed, puts another suitcase in it, opens it up. It's full of shackles and handcuffs and chains. In my mind, I think this is bad. We'll get out of here. And I said, "We can have another beer." And he goes, he starts looking for the cooler. Well, he walks past me and around both beds, and I hit the door. And I open the door, and just as I step out, he grabs me. He hits me a couple of times, but I just kept back to him. So I back on out of there, get on my bike. So I get home, and I said, "Mom, you're not going to believe what happened to me." So I told her the whole story, and I could tell she was real concerned. Fast forward 3 years, I walk to the front of the marina, I turn the corner, and I bump into a guy. My first reaction was, I said, "Excuse me," step aside. He steps aside, and it was him. Now I'm almost 18, and I said, "Hey, do you remember me?" And he said, "No." I said, "You remember me?" So I kind of went chest to chest with him. I said, "Yes, you do. I'm not 14 yet." About that time, my boss walks in, so we went our separate ways. Then December 78, by Rivergate Mall, I was going to get a present from my mom and dad. I see this roll of newspapers. I couldn't really see the headlines, but I could see this guy's face. I started getting cold chills. I got up, walked over there, and every step I was saying, "That's the guy. That's the guy that tried to trap me in the hotel room."
Oh, that would suck. Come and See is a movie that was one of the realest and most brutal showings of World War II on the Eastern Front. It's truly beyond dramatic. Oh, wow. Damn. Yeah, I bet that was pretty good. I'll have to try to remember that. I know I'll forget it. Here you go. Video of the rocket hitting the firmament. Sent you the trailer. Okay, sweet. We'll watch it. Yeah, here we go. Merry Christmas to you. Have you seen Let There Be Blood? The title sounds familiar. Excuse me. Let There Be Blood. It's not Daniel Day-Lewis. I'm not picturing it, man. I'm sorry. Let's check out this trailer. Hopefully I won't get in any copyright shit.
Будем беспощадны. Они того заслужили.
Damn, I'm gonna pause it for a second and just make sure I don't get in trouble. Okay, I think we should be good now. Come and see, and I saw. Yeah, looks good, man. Pretty cool. Black Sun is another good war movie. Alright, let's see. Check around real quick. This is why I sent the Lobster War. Yeah, I got that on the back burner right now. Let's see if there's anything. I'm gonna look through my feeds real quick, and yeah, if not, we're gonna put that on. I ain't seen nothing. Let's look at my subscriptions. And students occupy an NYU lobby during worldwide strike for Palestine. It seems it takes forever to grow. So much patience involved. But oh, Jay, I wish you could try this. Grow. Look at marijuana is bad. Can't believe I still had this one saved. What was this?
We're already begun to secure fair pricing clauses and contracts for new COVID vaccines, 3 new COVID vaccines.
Now, think about that.
To make sure we're better prepared to tackle the health challenges, including the next pandemic, and there surely will be one.
For new COVID vaccines, 3 new COVID vaccines.
I think you all know that I've always felt the 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
Think about what you think about.
Marijuana is bad and it's technically highly illegal, so I grow tomatoes. Highly potent tomatoes. Hey man, ain't nothing wrong with some potatoes, tomatoes. I caught a glimpse of when Biden was in there with what's his name from Ukraine, Zelensky. That didn't look like Biden. Something was off with his face. When I saw the clip of that I was watching, I was like, that don't look right. His face don't look right, man. I bet they have like doubles and shit that we just sent them so much freaking money.
Everybody talks about freedom and not to have a shot or have a test. Well, guess what? How about patriotism? How about making sure that you're vaccinated so you do not spread the disease to anybody else?
I'll pass. The Biden mask video. Yeah. Like it's.
What about that? What's the big deal?
A little later.
And then just one more topic, really quick. Okay, just quickly. Why is President Biden telling people still that the vaccinated cannot spread COVID?
Can you say more?
Yeah, in a local interview on Tuesday, he said, how about making sure you're vaccinated so you do not spread the disease to anybody else?
What's the big deal?
The CDC says people get vaccine breakthrough infections can be contagious.
Well, I'll say this. I didn't hear this interview, so I would have to see it in its full context. What I know and what the president believes is that we have to listen to the science.
That one didn't age quite so well.
Not only is the committee not allowing Hunter Biden to testify publicly, but they have not called a single witness, a single first-hand witness. A single witness, a single first-hand witness.
You serious?
To any of their allegations, they haven't allowed anybody to testify publicly because they do not have a single witness to.
Did they ever find out who brought in the weed and coke to the White House? I mean, I know it appeared while Hunter was staying there, but don't connect those dots. Did they ever say where the coke and weed came from that they found in the White House? Or did that just kind of, disappear?
Any of their alleged allegations.
Bill Clinton. Hillary, I dropped my stash. Damn it, Bill. Someone did it, but by golly, it was too hard. So blame Trump. Racist. Alright, yeah, we'll watch some, The Lobster Wars.
Come here and pop a squat, kiddo. Daddy's got a story to tell. Is it long? Sit down. For today's tale, we'll need to dial the clock back to the time when optimism died. The 20th century. It's a story of small disagreements festering beyond reason. A chronicle of quarrels lasting through all seasons. A fable of ideologic conflict growing tenser than treason. All of which culminated into what was called a war, despite no shots being fired. Dad, I already know about the Cold War. Yada yada, better dead than red, I know the drill. What? That pathetic decades-long temper tantrum over whose money system was good and whose was the unholy abomination spawned from the bowels of the Ninth Circle Battle? No. If I want to watch children cry about how numbered paper was handled while throwing around tubes, I go play Monopoly. I like my near-military conflicts like I like my woman. Full of crabs. I'm sorry, we're gonna thread the lobster war. It's the mid-1900s, and Europeans haven't quite grown out of their main character phase and need to make sure no one forgets. Oh, it's funny because the two movies are so different, right? I'm here too, okay? Hey, drop it, drop the oil! But as the 1960s rolled around, tragedy struck. America had a Jello mold phase. But other than that, nearly all of France's African colonies claimed they wanted independence, and as France loved being seen as the in vogue colonial power, they granted it to them to look hip, and definitely not because they couldn't afford another colonial war. This was all fine and dandy, unless you were a French fisherman who just lost their free rein to catch lobster off the Mauritanian coast. Slow your roll, Ratatouille, you need a permit for that now. Ah yes, there is plenty of lobster, don't be so shellfish. Leave the area and cut the puns or I'll detain you faster than a panzer tank. Don't get all crabby. I'll be out of your hair in a pinch. Stop! I'm claustrophobic. Luckily, a few of these fishermen heard some juicy gossip about this hot new spot just brimming with lobster on the other side of the Atlantic. And for the cherry on top, they were practically free for the taking, being surrounded by nothing but the open water, salty air, Brazil. The fishermen figured that last part could be a problem. You know, sovereign waters or something. So they sent out a delegation to negotiate a license. But waltzing up to a country and saying, holy cannoli, that's a lot of lobster ravioli. How about instead of you guys fishing them to fuel your $20 million canning industry, I do the fishing and money getting part, would most likely be met with, haha, eat shit. Therefore, an elaborate ruse was needed to mask their fishing intentions. So they put together a pitch that was so intricate, so convincing, that the Brazilians would have no choice but to allow them coastal access to their lobster, all while being completely oblivious of their objective to harvest them. Thank you for meeting with us. We come to you with a pressing issue. You see, there have been seismic reports, sounds, if you will, of a disturbance in the deep, originating from your coast of Brazil. Jean, if you could just describe this disturbance for us. Of course. And you see, it was those clicks, thank you, Jean, it was those clicks that led us to lobster. Now for our next step. Okay, sorry, I think I know what this is. You boys are just here to conduct some routine research on lobster nurseries and just need one of those permits for a few boats, right? You know, that is exactly what we wanted to do. Pierre, we got the research license. The French fishermen acquired a license allowing 3 boats to conduct research on lobster nurseries, which should normally be a relatively non-invasive process. But they looked at this permit and thought, haha, that's a funny way to spell 4. And everyone knows the research is only as good as your sample size, and the French like to be as accurate as possible. Sure, this was all technically in violation of their license, but I've been driving with a suspended one for 3 years now and haven't had any problems. Nevertheless, Western European nations have this refined analytical process to find out just how much they can bend the rules when it comes to a foreign country. So they ran the numbers on Brazil. We're good. While the fishermen thought they'd pulled off a successful bamboozle, Brazilian authorities already thought something smelled fishy about these fishermen. And luckily for them, they also had a similar analytical process. Maybe we should check it out. Representatives were sent from the Brazilian Navy to act as inspectors and make sure the French fishermen were honoring the foundation of these nations' crustacean relations.
Not gonna lie, I'm kind of lost right now. I have no idea what we're watching, but I'll keep it going. I have no idea what they're even talking about anymore.
They should be around here. Oh, that's them. Oh, welcome to the Red Lobster. We got an invest. Table for two, yes? I've got the perfect romantic spot for you two Romeos. What? No, we aren't. Doesn't matter. We're here representing the Brazilian Navy. Oh, shit, Brazil? Yes. Welcome to the Red Lobster, a research center. Yes. Let me just get our head of science. Pierre is making some incredible progress. Oh, yeah? What have you found out in your research? Say her. Oh, what? You get pinched, Lil? No, you'll never amount to anything. Upon investigation, they found that, along with violating the boat limit, the ships were not conducting research, but carrying out large-scale predatory lobster fishing with a trawl. Trawling is this neat practice where you put a net in the water and catch that everything. Environmental impact? What environment?
Oh, okay.
Stop and revoke the fisherman's license, sending them lobster tail between the anchors back on over.
France is illegally fishing off Brazil's coast for cheap lobster. Gotcha.
Excuse me, there have been seismic reports, sounds, if you will. The fishermen returned in November to request another research license, but this time further out at sea on the continental shelf, outside of Brazil's territorial waters, which stretch 760,320 gumballs from the shore. Or for simpletons, 12 miles. This request was granted, and for the rest of the year, Brazil kept a close eye on them while the fishermen played the nautical version of, I'm not touching you. But just like an early 2000s cartoon fish, the French just couldn't keep their grubby little paws off those luscious lobsters. And on January 2nd, 1962, the French boat Cashapp was found catching lobster about 10 miles off the shore. 10 miles! Got you! Ha-ha! You're within our waters now, cheese boy! You should. Hold this! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A Brazilian corvette seized the French vessel for catching lobster without authorization, probably hitting a sick drift as it pulled up, but then again, everything I know about Brazil comes from Fast 5. Anyway, by now shit's getting pretty serious and Mom and Dad need to get involved. So whilst the fishermen and Navy battled the lobster sea, the French and Brazilian governments battled the diplomacy. The War of the Pen commenced, and at the heart of this battle in the fierce political trenches was one vital question. Like, what is a lobster? Sounds like a silly question, right? What is a lobster? Why, it's the underwater excavator, the crustacean of the basin, the pogo stick with a prick. But even my definition of a lobster as nature's gripper snippers wouldn't have been sufficient for the contending nations. They wanted to know whether or not a lobster was a fish. France made the claim that a lobster was in fact a fish, so therefore they had the right to catch them according to the basis for fishing on the high seas set by the Geneva Convention of 1958. Brazil, for their part, pushed the thesis that lobsters were not a fish, but in fact an economic resource, a part of their continental shelf that they had the sovereign right to exploit, according to a different provision of the same Geneva Convention. They said, citing a treaty they didn't sign. And this wasn't like your average 12-hour Twitter beef. This diplomatic battle lasted all through 1962 and part of 63, which is hilarious considering the other things going on the world stage during that time. Kennedy is having us increase our troop presence in Vietnam. 400 Green Berets were a start, but they aren't going to be enough. Agreed. We must be careful, though. We don't want to replace the French as a colonial force in the area and bleed as the French did. That's a good point. Got any advice, France? So now with the pangolin being a geode, yes, according to our established law of modus operandi derived from the Flight Eater Sarlacc pit model, yes, then when taking the Laplace transform of this in a matrix with the crustacean equation, we find that lobster are in fact fish. No, no, no! This completely violates the Capricorn theorem! Let's back this up. While that reality sadly only exists in my headcanon, France and Brazil did do their best to support their claims and own each other with facts and logic. Brazil's evidence was that lobsters were like oysters, and that they both cling to the ocean floor, making them a part of the continental shelf. But France argued that when a lobster hops around the ocean floor, it's essentially swimming, making it a fish, which prompted Brazil's Navy expert in oceanography, to spit some iconic bars. If a lobster is a fish because it moves by jumping, then a kangaroo is a bird. Yeah, that's actually a pretty solid point. Yeah, and if a kangaroo is a bird, then a flying fish is a spaceship because it jumps through the air. A little weaker, but okay. And if a flying fish is a spaceship, then a seagull is an oil rig because it dives underwater. Okay, let's settle down. No, if a seagull is an oil rig, then my wife is a fucking whore because she jumps from man to man. Okay, so I made up the end there, but don't worry. The first part is a real quote that you can safely add to your Instagram bio. While mom and dad fight in their room, let's check out how things are going on the water, and wow, France just doesn't care. Like the IRS at my front door, the fishermen just kept coming back, completely unfazed by the international turmoil and monolithic tubes of death pointed at their face. So the Brazilian Navy just continued seizing their ships, going while making them sign a paper swearing they wouldn't return. But the French were like, haha, I can't read this, and would often just come back anyway. In one instance, a French ship was caught by a patrol off the northeastern coast to order them to sail to deeper waters. At first, the fisherman captain ignored them, but while he may not have spoken Portuguese, there are only a few ways you can
Are you guys aware of Ice Poseidon?
interpret a blaring alarm stating Postos de Combati.
The IRL people?
Postpone the confetti? But you promised! Sources differ in the exact timing, but it was around now when the French fishermen were getting pretty fed up with being told what to do, so they started to complain. And by complain, I mean they personally petitioned warships for protection from French President Charles de Gaulle himself. De Gaulle said,
I was searching around on Kick, and I was looking for something live to watch, and came across this.
The French sailed over with a lot more confidence this time. I mean, they've got defenses now. When this had ever failed France. But unfortunately for them, Brazil was about as likely to let them swipe their salty sea spiders as Hollywood is to pay their writers. So the Brazilian Navy boarded these fishing boats without a second thought. Oh shit, I didn't think they'd seize them with us right here. Well, should we do something? No, you crazy? Haven't you seen Fast 5? Much like a pilot to a millionaire's island, the French Navy sat there and did nothing. But the same couldn't be said on the diplomatic front, as it was then that the French ambassador to Brazil visited President João Goulart about the issue. Goulart stated he didn't want any trouble with France, and made the surprise presidential order to release 3 captured fishing boats and allow them to fish. Honey, they reopened that Red Lobster. Terry, we are a loyal Long John Silver's family. As expected, the Brazilian people were none too pleased about this, and the resulting backlash pushed the government to rescind this permission shortly thereafter. Things then escalated even further when in late February 1963, Brazil delivered an ultimatum. All Frenchies have 48 hours to skedaddle to the land of poodles, else they'd get the noodle. I may or may not have written that line while intoxicated, but I wouldn't dare delete a line full of such eccentric flavor. However, over in France, this lobster war was really starting to get on de Gaulle's nerves.
Sent you the Transformation of America. Have you heard of? I have not. Let me check it out.
They can't fish, then they can. Just kidding, they can't. Oops, now they've got 2 days to leave town. God, I don't understand this emotion I'm feeling. What you're experiencing is known as mixed signals, sir.
Where did you send it to?
Radio to AM. No, I mean, like, you know when a girl is kind of hinting she likes you, but you can't quite tell if she's into you because her actions give conflicting signs? Those are mixed signals. Paul, I'm rich and the president of France. I don't get mixed signals, I get bitches. So don't speak to me about your poor people problems. Now, on one hand, Brazil is an important strategic partner of the French. The latter has invested over 1,000 million francs into the former, and they rely on the iron smelting, textiles, and chemical products of Brazil.
Under brain matter?
Also, Brazil is capitalist and can help fight nearby growth of communism.
Oh, no?
So, some would say, it would be in the best interest of France to be like, wow, you know, maybe we shouldn't go to war over cover the ocean bugs that piss out their face. But on the other hand, this wasn't the
Piss out their
France. This was
face.
de Gaulle's France. And seeing as how this was the man who tried escaping World War I prison camps 5 times, once while posing as a nurse, it should be no surprise
I don't see it,
that
man.
de Gaulle was a very stubborn man. And this stubborn man considered Brazil's actions to be a slight on the majesty of France. So he did not back down, but instead dispatched the French destroyer Tartu to the Brazilian coast. Tempers are flaring, ministers are swearing. With this newest escalation, Brazil is preparing. The newspapers have been rousing the public, and the atmosphere in
I sent it
Brazil is
to
one of imminent
the
war.
ocean
The
bugs.
Tartu by itself wasn't a huge concern.
Yeah. Yeah, send it to the brain matter.
Task force of French ships nearly
Horror.
3 days away, containing not only a state-of-the-art aircraft carrier, but also a tanker named Labase, which means the fuck in French, which is also a river in France.
The fuck? I want to go see the fuck. I want to take a stroll down the fuck in my canoe. I want to go down the fuck in my canoe.
Mobilization. It's the eve of Brazil's favorite holiday, the Carnival. A time for wild celebration, dancing to music, stealing comically large vaults with Dodge Chargers. Oh wait, that's Fast 5 again. And this year, people were really memeing this whole situation. Even some masked revelers went around with
It's 105 outside, and you're kind of, dude. It's like 30 degrees here. It's fucking cold, man.
granted them war pay and launched ships to search for the Tartu under Operation Lobster. Along with these ships, Brazil continued to mobilize.
Yeah, dude. It's starting. Like the other day, the other night, it was like raining its ass off, and it was like thundering and shit. And I'd always heard, man, if it thunders in the winter time, that means you're gonna get some snow. And yeah, sure enough, man. The next morning, man, it was like snow on the ground and shit. I hate winter so much. I hate it. I guess I'm gonna have to like bring my bike inside or some shit when it starts getting really cold. I need to try to run all the gas out of it I can, so when I bring it in, it doesn't smell the house up.
Sure, they only had enough ammunition for 30 minutes of combat, and sure, they lacked adequate fuel supplies, and sure, some ships were decommissioned with mechanical problems, and sure, the French had a state-of-the-art Navy and Air Force to counter them.
It's 32 in your concrete box. Has terrible insulation. Well, what's to say we got here?
Brazil's planes that have been searching for the Tartu finally spotted, causing it to start shooting exercises, probably to deter the aircraft. The plane responded by flying even lower.
Yeah, it's in the 30s here.
Well, that's cute. Little guns you got there. Oh, what's this?
Yeah, we had a really bad storm a couple days ago. It was the one that went through, I think, Texas and killed a bunch of people. We caught that storm.
Their radar detects something in the water. Making their way closer, tensions running high. They finally made out the Tartu in the mist, and oh, it's gone. Running low on fuel, the Tartu retreated and was replaced with a much weaker ship. Well, hey,
God, I swear, Kick is almost just as bad as Twitter.
Hey guys, what's up? Oh, with the playing field set and more Brazilians on the way, it was now just a matter of who would shoot first.
But I was looking in the IRLs from lowest to highest views instead of highest to lowest. Trying to find something funny.
Brazil would allow limited French ships to fish for 5 years while sharing profits with Brazil, who would also get to expand the nautical miles.
It's so hot there. Yeah, my heater just came on. That's how cold it is here.
In the end, France decided war wasn't worth it. To be honest, I'm surprised it got even remotely this far. Running some numbers, if one anti-aircraft gun on one French vessel fired for just 11 minutes, say in case it wanted to teach some smart-ass aircraft a lesson, you'd already rack up an ammunition bill more expensive than the $3 million a year the French fishermen were raking in. But to be honest, with the cost and street cred for a European nation losing a diplomatic war with Brazil over lobster, perhaps World War III would have just been worth it. The Lobster War, 8 out of 10 stars.
Well, I hate that I lost attention to it halfway, or not even halfway through. I was looking at something, next thing I know, I'm behind on everything. I didn't know what was going on. But I got on Kick, and I'm trying to find us something to watch. Just chatting, pools, ASMR, news. Let me pull this up so you guys can. I'm gonna keep that because that's just terrifying. Okay, so you guys can kind of see what I'm seeing. There you go. There's games, IRL, music, gambling, creative, alternative. There's nothing going on in alternative or creative, really. There's one tarot video going on. But I don't think anyone's there. Should I message? Or do you think she'll charge me to read my cards? I'm hella loud, bubbly, talkative. What you see is what you get. I'm 30 years old. Have a daughter named Cookie Co. Well, God, that scared me. No disrespect, self-promote, bully, racism, being sexist, blah, 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 blah. If you're going to donate, give sub, bits, etc., do not negotiate with me. Well, she's got all kinds of shit set up. So what do you guys think? Should we try this or not? If not, I'm going to go on to bed. Because I got kind of hungry and a little sleepy. So, rain is one of the earth and sun for me and you and everyone. The move is on, the way is long, the pain is here, but we still carry on. Must be pretty late. It is 1:30 in the morning. Yeah, and I didn't sleep too good last night. Alright, let's see. Australia has a lot of crazy plants. Let's check out science and technology. What's going on over here? Nothing. Food and drink. Meditation. No. Sports, botany. Podcast. I'm calling it a night, guys. I'm sleepy. Thanks for hanging out with me, though. Connor, thank you for the donation, brother. Really appreciate it, man. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I've had fun. I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be back tomorrow night, and we'll hang out and do some more shit. All right, guys. Night.